In this self-nip, bobbly da baba dee ba doo doo.
Second here. Oh, there we go. Ah, how's it going, Bob?
I'm good.
Excellent.
I'm good.
Dude, man, you don't understand how excited I am about this.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've spoken with you.
Yeah, I think the last time. Hold on, let me plug in this so my phone doesn't die. I think the last time I actually saw you was you came to. I had a meeting. I was going to this clinical hypnosis school, and you came out to like some restaurant we were having a meeting at.
Was that in LA?
Yeah, and you were like, hey, I want to do this show where we're just gonna get on stage and we're gonna just fucking improvise. It was like you had something. Oh, dude, it was at Denny's because like very shortly after that, you named like you had like a thing you were doing called Denny Breakfast.
I mean, man, I don't remember that, like the show or whatever, but
Yeah,
that does sound like something that I would do is walk up to you and ask you to come on stage and do an free improv thing.
yeah, and I was at the time I told you I was like I have to do this forensic hypnosis thing for a police department, and I forgot what the police department was, but and I didn't talk to you very much or even see you. I didn't see you after that for a while.
Yeah. Well, I think probably after that I got into school as well. Like I started going to CalArts, and then you at some point went to China, right?
Well, that wasn't until much later actually, but I was in the hypnotherapy school, and then then started living in Tarzana, California. But we just kind of went our separate ways, and doing our own thing. Hey, so I did drop an F-bomb just a little bit earlier, but I did notice that your podcast on your show are pretty G-rated. So
That's okay, man. I mean, we try to focus on the music,
yeah.
So but there's plenty of F-bombs
Okay.
and stuff going on here and there.
So for anybody who's listening, by the way, my show, I got it built up pretty decently. I get like 3,000 downloads a week. I wanted to climb
Oh, wow.
to more than that.
Congrats on that. How long have you been doing this show?
Well, this one where I'm just naming, it's just my name, Hakeem Ali Bokus Alexander. I've only been doing for a couple months, but I before started back in 2015. Long story short, I started working for an FM radio station as a producer and on-air talent in Los Angeles in 2014. But then I felt it was too restrictive because of the different advertisers we had on there, like Pepsi, like huge companies that I don't really believe in,
Yeah,
and there were certain things you couldn't say. And so after 6 months of doing
there's the FCC too, right? Like, you can't even...
Right, exactly. So I couldn't drop F-bombs. Like,
Yeah.
There was just certain things I couldn't even talk about. Like, there was even like this thing called the Zeitgeist movement that I was like getting into and just looking at what they were doing, and I couldn't even talk about that stuff. It was like, whoa, stop! You can't, they're talking about. I'm like, but the movies are on Netflix. Like, what are you, But it was. So I quit, and then very shortly after that, I looked up podcasting because there was like this network marketing company that. So I'm not into those network marketing companies. A lot of people call them pyramid schemes or whatever. But I joined one like years ago called I think now it's called Legal Shield. And it was like one of the coolest things because they actually had like a real product that I actually still use where you get to talk to lawyers and stuff like that. Like they give you get free phone calls and they look at documents and all that stuff. So I thought it was really cool. So my introduction to network marketing companies were with like really cool, legit businesses that are like still around. But most of them are just like scammy, schemy pyramid schemes. Like for real, most of them are. Probably 99.999% of them are garbage. But this one that I had joined was because I'd been blogging ever since 2006. Since I graduated from the hypnosis school, I just started going online and just blog ranting about hypnosis and like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And this one company, they were doing a blogging product, and I was like, well, I'm already a blogger and this makes sense to me. So I joined this network marketing company, and they did a podcast. And because I was dissatisfied with the radio station, I was like, I'm going to copy what this network marketing company did and start a podcast because, there's no restrictions on it. And eventually one of the founders of this network marketing company lost his freaking mind, and he like claims that he's like Jesus and like some Messiah, King David or whatever. And now he just does crazy stuff when he goes and rents out like what is that thing where people can rent a house? What is that called again?
Airbnb. Or something?
Yeah. He goes to Airbnbs and goes online and just does crazy stuff. But it's entertaining to watch, to look into him every once in a while. But that's why I started the podcast. Yeah.
So wait, that was a person you were working for?
As one of the affiliates of the network marketing company, yes. I met him. I went to a huge conference in 2014 with all these people getting their $1 million rings on stage and all that nonsense. And it was, it's all a cult. Most network marketing companies are cults. I'm not shy about saying that. And I have a degree in clinical hypnosis, so I understand, hypnotic modalities and laws of hypnosis and what's going on. And most of that stuff is culty. And check this out. Interestingly enough, the founder of the hypnotherapy school that I went to, he founded it in 1967. His definition of hypnosis is in the United States Dictionary of Occupational Titles. He like basically wrote the definition of hypnosis. Anyway, he actually
you're like an expert in hypnosis, yes?
Yeah, I mean I do that as one of my businesses. And so he actually trained the founders of oh my gosh, why is it slipping my mind right now all of a sudden? He trained the founders of Amway.
Amway. What's Amway?
It's a huge network marketing company. They basically sell basic household necessities like toothpaste and toilet paper and that stuff. They're a huge network marketing company.
This is like, they're like older. Like,
yeah, way older.
Like door-to-door salesmen.
Yeah. Where they come in and they do these like parties or like, hey, we have these products and we're gonna test this out and here, check out this toothpaste yes, but they're like the OG ones. And so interestingly, coincidence, the founder of the school that I went to consulted with them and taught them tricks. So I know that there are a bunch of hypnosis cults that are using like network marketing companies because I recognize exactly everything that they're doing in their sales strategies and tactics. Anyway,
all the techniques.
Yeah, but that's the last time I saw you was at a Denny's, and then it was weird that you called one of your projects Denny Breakfast afterwards, and I was like, what the hell is Bob doing?
That came actually before. That came from a thing in Miami, actually.
I'm sure, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't know that before, so afterwards I was just like, what the hell? So people listening, so Robert Woods LaDue, this guy, I met him on campus at University of Miami. My girlfriend at the time was a student there. And I was on campus all the time. I was teaching some people capoeira at the intramural fields. And I was playing a berimbau. It's an African instrument. And Bob came up to me and we started talking. And then, I don't know, Bob, were you at
It was me.
Yeah.
It was me and my friend Brian Potts, who were studying percussion under Neirazar, who's a Brazilian percussionist. So we're learning pandero and these instruments, like the pandero and the berimbau, go together with capoeira.
Yeah.
And so I think we just walked up to you on the field with a pandero and just started playing.
Yeah.
Because we were like, who's this guy? Let's play with him.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how like I immediately figured out that you were like you must have just told us that you were like a death metal vocalist or something.
I don't know how that happened, but you were making some crazy ass music. Like, how long were you doing like extreme metal stuff before I met you?
I mean, I got into that in high school.
Okay.
It was actually a very distinct moment that happened because I was like it's one of those moments in my life that like I'll never forget because it was just like the switch flipped on.
Yeah.
You know. Whereas, like, I was in a car. I was on a jazz gig, and we were taking a break.
Okay.
We were in a car, and, like, the other guys were telling me, like, oh, this guy likes death metal. And I was like, what's death metal? And so I was like, put some death metal on. And then he put on, like, Cryptopsy or something. And I was, like, immediately just, like, I was like, oh, man, what's happening in the drum set? Like, what?
Yeah.
You know, just hooked. Like, totally just hooked from that moment.
Dude, okay. Again, people listening, Bob, you have to forgive me. I'm totally a Bob fan. I'm a Robert Woods LaDue fan. He may not know it because I haven't contacted him for a long time. But Bob, you don't understand how many times I've like put compilations together with songs that we've done together, and how I tell people, and like just
we have a tragically too few songs that we've worked on together.
That's right, but
I would say
maybe we could remedy that. But I tell people a lot, and I've always thought, I was like, dude, this guy's brilliant. You're like the total opposite of me musically in a way, because I'm all improvised and I have no idea about music theory. And you, well, not totally opposite. You know how to improvise, but you are like deeply rooted in music theory, and like you are like you're the kind of like a master of this because of the fact that not only are you highly creative, but you're also highly technical at the same time. Like you're like a great mix of both. Like you're like one of those people who can like do jazz improvisations and stuff like that, but you also are like deeply steeped in music theory, which is really cool. And you play like every instrument known to mankind. Like it's every kind of percussion, guitars, bass, you sing. It's just like, you know, and I can play every instrument too, but I just don't have any idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what the keys I'm pressing.
I heard you talking about this. I was listening to a couple of your podcasts, and you mentioned this a couple times, like the MC, what's it called?
Oh, crap. MC Narcissist.
MC Narcissist. But great name, by the way. But you said, but I just wanted to say, like, you know, some of my, or many of my, perhaps even most of my favorite musicians in this world know nothing about music theory, per se.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what they know how to do, and they're, like, brilliant musicians, but they're not, like, technically, like, they didn't study in school or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not technically proficient.
Yeah, so I don't think being technically I mean, it does give you certain advantage, like being able to write music gives you an advantage and stuff like that. But like like the world is open to everyone, whether like the music world is open to I think everyone.
Yeah.
Whether or not they know theory.
Interestingly enough, the closest I got to understanding music theory was years before I met you. I was in a high school called Northeast High School in Oakland Park, Florida. And they were also called the Hurricanes. It was the Northeast Hurricanes. And I was in the choir, and we did this thing called University of Miami Honor Choir. So when I was still in high school, we traveled down to University of Miami, and I got to sing and do a solo on stage at the University of Miami. I did a solo singing, and because of that, and because I was at a high level in the chorus, I had to do some sight reading. And most of the time, I just faked my way through it. Like, I would just look at the page of the music, and I would be like, let me find a recording of this and just listen to it and mimic it. Because I was like, I'm not trying to read, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and, you know, all this, every good boy does fine, and F, A, C, E. I'm like, that's my extent of music theory. And like the saxophone, I know the keys, the basic ones are B, A, G, F, E, D. That's about it. You know, and I just recently, a couple years ago, just started memorizing that the guitar strings are like E to E or whatever. But I just, you know, I'm not jealous or envious. I'm more in awe of people like you who, can do what you do. I look at it, I'm like, man, that would be interesting if I did that. Like I could solo like that, and I could write music out. Like didn't you have a songbook that you came out with at one point in time?
There was I was recently, like, I think it came out last year. I was published. There was a guy that put together a bunch of works from Bay Area musicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Bay Area Jazz Composers Songbook or something like that.
I'm thinking way before that you did one of your own. You had it was like the Robert LaDue songbook or something like that, or there was like some. This is the first time I've ever been like put in a publication. No, but something you did on your own before. I'm talking about. Didn't you have your own songbook that you'd put out?
No.
What, dude?
I've had like documents on websites, but I wouldn't call that publishing.
Yeah, well, you did have a website where you would put up your music and people could download them, like the MP3s from a site. I remember.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that type of stuff. I mean, I've always been putting websites together of content, like lyrics and notation and audio files and this and that, for sure. But not like a book, not like a publication.
Well, let me ask about. So, what exactly did you study at University of Miami? What's your degree? What did you study there?
Well, it was classical percussion. However, the environment there and our teacher, Nate Rosario, made it so that degree was not exactly your normal classical percussion degree, because he's a Brazilian guy, so we spent so much time playing his music and learning traditional Brazilian music. I spent very, very little time on the standard classical percussion stuff, like the stuff that you learn to basically get into an orchestra later in life, you know?
Yeah.
And I was also spending a fair amount of time in jazz school and I was friends with people in the jazz school, so we were playing together.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it was like, my education was a little like fragmented, in a way. But my instrument there was percussion, which does contribute, I think, to like my ability to play like I can play guitar and guitar instruments and keyboard instruments and rhythm instruments, you know? And so but all of that stuff is kind of like, you as a percussionist, you have to learn just a crap ton of instruments. Like you have to play celeste in the orchestra. That's considered percussion, like vibraphone, marimba.
Okay.
These are all percussion instruments. Like
yeah.
So you have to learn how to play all these. I spent a lot of time on marimba and vibraphone, but
Did you enjoy learning all those different instruments? Like, was it?
I mean, I liked some more than others.
Yeah.
For sure. It's funny, like, what has really stuck with me, like, is like a lot of this stuff that I was playing. Like, I was most of the time in University of Miami, I was practicing on marimba.
Yeah. Like
playing pandero. I was playing timpani a lot. I was playing like all these percussion instruments, and I don't really play any of those today. But it was out like many years later when I moved to Oakland. I got into Afro-Cuban percussion.
Nice.
And I studied with, after college, I studied with a few people that lived in Oakland, namely Sandy Perez and Jesus Diaz.
Okay.
And that has been like that one has really stuck with me. Like, I really play like congas and bata and shekere and all these Afro-Cuban percussion instruments, and also the music, the repertoire that I learned from them.
That's interesting that you got into Afro-Cuban music, and after living in South Florida.
I know.
You can fucking swim to Cuba.
A lot of people would say like, "Oh, you lived in Miami. Obviously, you got into it there." And I'm like, "Nope. I got into it." It's honestly, it seems I mean, I haven't really spent too much time in Miami since I left.
Yeah.
You know, but when I arrived, I think things have changed now, particularly since COVID and everything. But
Yeah.
when I first arrived in Oakland, there was like active, like open Roombas happening in various places.
Right.
And like there was like this huge scene where you could just kind of slip into and like go to these jam sessions and go to these parties, and people would just be playing Roomba, and you could just kind of, it's kind of like very similar to going to a jazz jam every week. It's like you start to learn what the deal is, get into it,
now
meet people, and
what I mean, dude. I was listening to your podcast. By the way, people, it's called. I'm looking at. It's Fantastic Tones for Human Bones.
Yeah.
So, you guys got to check it out. The place that pops up the most is on Apple Podcasts. Is that where people mostly listen to it? Fantastic Tones for Human Bones.
Yeah, I mean it's in all the standard places you can find podcasts. So iTunes or I podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher.
Google, right? I think I saw it on Google Podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we use a distribution service, so it's all over.
I do too. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, Fantastic Tones for Human Bones. The first one I listened to was the one with Saki Minamimoto.
Yeah. She's a good friend of mine from. She lives in San Francisco. Very.
I love Japan.
Talented. She's a very, very sweet person, very sincere.
I could tell that from listening. And you guys have some, I mean, awesome conversations. They're like 2 hours long and on average, and that's pretty cool. I've learned so much. I was just binge listening to them, and I'm just like, man. So the point about that is that you've met like these high caliber musicians because of who you are yourself. And I mean, when I met you, it seemed like you were just budding, just starting, and you were doing like the metal stuff with me for a while because I was, I love death metal, I love extreme metal, but you're just all over the place, man. And like, but see, what's so interesting? So there's a gym that I'm teaching. I'm a personal trainer at now, and the fitness director, who's my direct supervisor, he's manages all of the personal trainers. He told me that the saying that says jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
That's not the complete saying. It's something like jack of all trades.
It's not true.
Right.
That's not true.
Exactly. and it says it's the continuing of the saying is like it's better to be a jack of all trades than to be only a master of one. Right. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it's obviously there's compromises to both sort of scenarios and in all scenarios.
Right.
All right. So like, you focus on one thing and become the best at it that you can be. You're better than everyone else. You're an Olympian or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's not that's a worthy pursuit. That's
sure.
not it. And if like that's not your thing, you want to get into a bunch of other stuff. It's like whatever works for a person in their life is going to be, how their life goes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't say that one thing is better than the other.
No, of course not. Like, so for example, I've focused on capoeira ever since I was 16 years old. I'm 44 now, so it's 28 years, something like that. And I've just kept on doing it, and I'm still doing backflips and spinning sideways through the air, and all this other stuff because I've focused on doing it, and so, and I feel great, and but I'm not necessarily a capoeirista. I'm more what would be considered a mixed martial artist. It's just that I have this foundation of using capoeira movements, But
capoeira is such an interesting. Like, it's funny that it's even called a martial art in some ways, because it's like, it's so much more than that, it seems like.
It's a folk art, It's just culture and tradition. It's really, it's really changed from being a martial art to what it is now. I practice it as a martial art because I've been in the ring, amateur, and fighting for years. So I found a way to adopt it and adapt it to be able to fighting in combat sports competitions. But the way that it's mostly practiced now is it's not for that purpose. It's for community. It's for camaraderie. It's for physical fitness. You know what I mean? It's like for family. It's a really amazing thing with culture and history and tradition. So that's more what it's about than being a martial arts. So you're right about that.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't really like actually spar with capoeira. Like you just kill someone, right? Like,
well, a lot of the kicks are, because they're spinning, they're really powerful, and so a person can get really hurt if they're caught with them. But you can. It's just that. Well, right now capoeira is, like I said, it's largely not practiced as a martial art. And not everything that they do in capoeira should even be used for self-defense. Because first of all, it's very tiring. Like you'll get tired really quickly by trying to do that stuff. Especially the newer style of capoeira, which is called contemporânea, contemporary capoeira, senzala capoeira, regional or regional capoeira. They're very flashy and they have a lot of acrobatics. And those are like the newer styles. However, the Angola capoeira, the older style, it's really more about body movement and position. And even in that, there's not a lot of practical usefulness of it, except for the fact that it helps with mobility and stability and allowing you to change your level from high to low. But if you don't practice it as a combat art, then you can't fight with it. So you have to consciously adapt it and use it to fight and figure out what you can and cannot do. Yes, a lot of those flashy kicks that you see, that's not original capoeira.
Interesting.
That all the flashy stuff in the backflips, that's not it.
Contemporánea, huh?
Contemporánea, yeah, contemporánea.
Contemporánea.
Yeah, it's there's contemporánea, there's regional or regional, and those are like the newer, and senzala. Those are like the newer, more combative type of styles, but they're more like they're not even at the level of taekwondo, where taekwondo is flashy, but there's a lot of full contact taekwondo competitions where people get knocked out by those kicks.
Yeah.
But capoeira is not even like that. It's more flowery. It's more posing. It's more flashy. It's more, to be honest,
it involves music, right? Like
yeah. And I was going to get to that point that, to be honest, most of capoeira now is more like breakdancing than anything else.
That's actually a great comparison.
It's more like it than anything else.
Yeah.
But you can siphon away a lot of the flashy stuff and figure out, like I did. I figured it out in street fights and getting into amateur competitions and then traveling around the world fighting and figuring out how I could use movements from capoeira to fight. And I had to throw a lot of stuff out and couldn't do a lot of things.
What kind of, are you doing like mixed martial art fighting, or what are you doing?
I did some of that, but I mostly did kickboxing and Muay Thai. So it was basically kickboxing. And
you're still doing that?
No, so sad story. Let's get this out of the way. You don't know this, but in 2019 in October, my wife, when she was in New York, she was killed. She left China. We were living in China. She was a teacher out there. She went to New York to visit her family, and she never came back. And I was there with her, supporting her and whatever. And we were supposed to start a family. We were talking about having babies and all this other stuff like that. And she was going to come back, but it didn't happen. And so after that happened, I just kind of languished in Asia, and eventually I stopped fighting. I was traveling to different parts of the world over there, and I was fighting, and then eventually I just quit. So no, I'm not doing it anymore. I just teach now for fitness and self-defense, and I'm going to be building a fight team in locally, but no. So I don't do it anymore. But
my condolences, man. It's terrible to hear.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like the worst thing. Like, I've lived a charmed life. Like, my whole life, everything has been so simple and so easy for me. But we'll get back to that stuff later. But no, capoeira, it's an interesting beast. It's been part of my life forever. And the one main thing I'm glad about it is that I was playing a berimbau one day on the intramural fields of University of Miami, and Robert Woods LaDue approached me, and we started recording music together. And I want to stick to that theme there, because, we have not recorded enough music together, and I love what you're doing now. I've seen a lot of stuff. I haven't always commented, but I'm following you on YouTube, and you're doing like a lot of different African music compositions. In some language that I don't understand. What African language are you mostly using? What is that?
So I've been making a lot of these videos on YouTube that are like, I call them Brady Bunch videos.
Yeah, because you have all the squares where you're like playing every instrument.
Yeah, exactly. So I just film myself like maybe 6 times or 7 times or so, and
the one I most recently saw was freaking 9 cubes, and you played at least 10 different parts. It was amazing.
Yeah, so I'm trying. I mean, I found. Okay, what happened was when COVID started, and I got locked in, and like I'm working from home, and so I'm like not leaving the house, and then when we got pregnant, we moved down to Bakersfield. And so I just, like, my musical community is gone. So, like, the people that I would normally play that music with are just, I can't get up there.
Non-existent.
And so, like, the only thing that I can do to really practice and, like, is make these videos. And as I tried it out, I found that it is actually a great practice to try and make a video, because like you have to do it when you're on camera like that. You have to do it in one take,
dude. Which is why I made a comment when I was like, "You're so patient. Like, how do you like you?" I'm like, "Well, how? I don't have that patience. Like, I'm just like, how do you do that? Like,
it's not really having as much the patience as it is the gall to just post it on and live with your mistakes, because like that's really what I'm doing. It's just kind of like putting it out. But like I mean it does take some like knowledge of, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I think about an arrangement or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like for the Afro-Cuban stuff, I'm actually like transcribing recordings that I have and to try to learn new songs.
Okay.
Using this method.
Yeah.
And so it's literally a practice for me to like just keep my chops up, learn some new material,
Yeah, because there was a time that I remember I was like, you were collaborating with a lot of musicians, and then all of a sudden I was like, dude, Bob's solo. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, when did that happen? I was like, wait a minute. Bob was this prolific musician who was like playing with all these people. So let me just backtrack a little bit. Okay, so you have a beautiful little baby girl.
Yeah.
And you sent me a video of her. She's adorable. Her name's Jody, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, she's great.
Dude, when did that happen? I do remember seeing, okay, so I'm a creeper. Okay, so I watch you on Facebook and YouTube, and I don't say anything. I'm one of those people. But I saw you got with this beautiful girl, and then you got married, or I think so. Is that right? Yeah. And then you guys had this baby, which I didn't know. I didn't know about the baby part, or if I did, I missed it. But I was overseas for 4.5 years, so I wasn't paying as much attention to U.S. based media. Not because I didn't want to, but because there's this thing called the Great Firewall.
Oh yeah.
And so we're blocked from like a lot of mainstream stuff that you have easy access to in the U.S. Like we can't get to Facebook or Google products and things like that without having a virtual private network or a VPN. So a lot of stuff I missed out on because of that. I was like basically, kind of like you're trapped over there.
That's really wild. Like, I wonder, like, do you feel like you've really missed anything by being isolated like that?
I missed I missed the entire presidency of Donald Trump.
So you didn't miss anything, basically.
Like I literally left right after he got elected, and then came back after he left office. It's so funny.
I mean, say what you will about Trump, but like I think for everyone it was exhausting because it was only Trump all the time, no matter what. It was just Trump, 4 years, you know.
He made it that way. Look, I'm not mad at Donald Trump. I don't have a problem with Donald Trump. I actually, have books with him doing forwards to it, and I looked at stuff from his business advice and things like that. I mean, I think that he's like the Incredible Hulk in Godzilla. He's very misunderstood.
He definitely knows how to take attention. Like he keeps the attention on him for sure.
So, anyway, but China was a great experience for me to have. Also because of the fact that it's much less expensive and more convenient to travel to all of the other countries surrounding it. So China is bordered by 14 countries. And then there's all the other Asian countries around there. So I got to go to all the special autonomous regions of China, which consider themselves to be republics of China. Well, actually, they don't. Most of these places would like to separate from China, including Macau, Hong Kong, and Thailand. They would rather not be China, but China is such a impressive...
Taiwan?
Yeah, they don't want to be part of China.
Yeah.
Neither does Macau or Hong Kong, but China has such a heavy military presence over there that, it's difficult to secede. Anyway, been to all those places, as well as Indonesia, Thailand, South Korea, Japan, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam,
Did you ever go to Mongolia?
Kazakhstan, yes. Well, Inner Mongolia, Tibet. So there's a lot of places that are accessible from there that's really inexpensive. I mean, dude, I was getting on the plane for like $20 to go to like Tibet. It's like so cheap.
That's amazing.
To fly around there and stay at hotels. And the hotels, amazing.
What were you doing there? You were fighting or teaching or what? I
was fighting. My wife was an English teacher, and I was sometimes teaching. I was the manager of English teachers, so I was teaching teachers how to teach classes. But I didn't have a visa to do that, so I didn't do it for long. I didn't do it like on a regular basis, because you have to have a specific work visa to do it. So I would just work as a consultant, but then I was mostly working my business online, and my wife was teaching English, so she had the work visa and I was just there with her because it was her idea to go in the first place.
And where were you guys centered? Where were you based out of?
We were mainly based out of a place called Hangzhou, China, which is in eastern China. So we were near the water, and we mostly went to places that were in eastern China. And it was really great. I mean, it was a phenomenal experience. I would recommend that anybody should do it. Just don't live there. Like, I tried to live there. We were living there for 4.5 years. Well, I was living there for 4.5 years. She died after we were there for 2 years when she went home. And then I kind of just, like I said, languished the last 2 years by myself out there.
Wow.
But it's a great experience. It was very interesting, and I learned a lot about China. I learned how to speak Putonghua, which is most people call Mandarin. I learned a lot about Chinese culture, Chinese people.
That's a pretty serious accomplishment.
It was fun. I learned early on that the first thing I needed to do was learn numbers, because I very quickly figured out we have to go buy food, and you have to know the prices. So I learned how to count from 1 to 10, and then quickly realized how easy it was to count to 100 and to 1,000. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I learned a bunch of words for animals and food. So I learned money and food first. Numbers, money, food. And people thought that I was like, so like, wow, you're so good. 你的中文很好. They would say your Chinese is very good. I'm like, no, it's not. I just know how to talk about money and food.
Do you like how did you think about approaching that? Because that language is tonal, right?
Yeah, I didn't think about the tones at first. I knew that they were existent, but I also realized right away that a lot of things is contextual. So people will understand you in the context.
I see.
If I go to a store and I'm like, how much is this chicken, right? Then they get that because of the context.
Right.
There's no other thing for them to think about. They're like, oh, his accent's bad. But so here's what you also have to understand. That you could go to a city that's 30 minutes away on train and there's a completely different accent. So I lived in Hangzhou, and so their language, even though it was Putonghua, which means common language, Hua, right? Hua, like a flower, a language, but it's a common language. I could go from Hangzhou, they spoke Hangzhouhua, but then I would go 20 minutes on the train to Juji, and they spoke Jujihua. And then you go to another place, and it's whatever. So everybody had a slight...
Can those people speak to each other?
Yes,
like
they can.
In their own
they can,
dialect?
But yes, absolutely. But check this out. So the number 4 and the number 10 was very confusing for a lot of people because so 1 through 10, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you say 4, it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, right? You have 4, and then 10 is 10, right? But certain people would say 10 and 4 the same way from different cities. So
oh, good.
So if I was like, how much is this? So 14, right? You would say 10 4. So 14, right? 44, yeah, 44 you would say the oh my gosh. So okay, let's just go to 40. So 40 you would say the 10 first and then 4. So it's like 10 times 4. So you would say 10. I'm sorry. 10. So 4 tens. I'm sorry. So you say the 4 first.
10.
Yeah, so 10. So see, it's 10, 4 tens. But 14 is 10 plus 4. So it's 10, 4, 4, right? So But this is what a lot of people don't know. When you're learning a different language, here's what I figured out really quickly. It's the same thing as the English language. The word teen, right? Teen is basically just saying plus 10. And ty, as in 20, 30, 40, is basically just saying a number times 10. So 13 is 3 plus 10. 13, right? It's the same thing in Chinese, except they're saying...
I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Except they're saying the 10 first. They're saying, sure san. Sure san.
I certainly pity anyone that has to freaking learn English. Like, there's so many things about it that are just...
However,
really
it's one of the best, most convenient languages ever. But anyway...
because everyone speaks it, right?
Well, no, it just makes a lot more sense than a lot of languages. I've learned a lot of languages, and it just makes a lot more sense because it's kept on changing throughout time, and it borrows things from other languages. What a lot of people don't know, that most of like the medical terminology comes from Greek and Latin.
Yeah.
And most words in general in English are Latin derivatives. They're Latin, Germanic, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So Bob, what's your favorite instrument to play? I'm switching subjects really quickly. What's your favorite instrument to play?
That's a tough question, to be honest.
Because you're a really fucking good drummer. Yeah, I dropped an F-bomb again, but you're a really amazing drummer. You're so good.
I like to play the drum set, for sure.
I mean, dude, you are so good. Remember that song that we did together called Play My Game? And you like sent me a CD?
Yeah.
When CDs were a thing?
Oh, it's funny. Okay, I was listening back to that, and I totally forgot. So there's a few there's a few things about that maybe you don't even know.
Yeah.
So that song, there's like several misconnections on this.
So
like,
there was that was like one of the last times we really actually talked to each other too, and I think that was the last song we actually did together.
Yeah. So it was yes.
And where were you living at the time?
Well, I think that song.
2003, 2004.
The thing is, I think I may have sent it to you from South Carolina.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
But that recording definitely happened in Miami.
And where are you from, Bob?
Well, so I kind of grew up in a bunch of places.
Okay.
On the East Coast.
All right.
But I went to high school in South Carolina.
Okay. All right.
And then, I mean, I've lived most of my life in California at this point. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But I was born in Ohio.
Okay.
But,
nice.
Not that means much because I haven't really been back there.
I like Ohio. I visited, believe it or not, several times.
So that song was a song that my friend Evans McGill wrote on guitar.
Really?
He wrote this song. We learned it together, like we were playing it, and then we were going to record it. And so I recorded the drum tracks. Yeah. And I sent it to him to record the guitar part. And then he just never did it. And I think just eventually forgot the guitar part.
Okay.
And it just went for so long, and I just wanted to finish the song. So I just wrote my own guitar part to that drum part.
Okay.
So it kind of was like there was a guitar part that he wrote that I came up with drum parts for, and then that guitar part got dropped, and I just made up my own parts.
So it's basically an original Robert Woods LaDue song. The one that I got.
Yeah, but then I think so. Similarly, I think I sent it to you, and then I think it was maybe a full year or so. You didn't send me before you sent me back.
Really?
Anything?
It was. I know it was a long time. I don't know if it was a full year, but I do remember putting in the song, "This CD is late for Bob Hakeem." I remember putting that line in there.
There's another version of the vocal line that I had someone else record. Actually.
Holy shit! You got to send that to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But it's so that song it's a tree with many branches. Let's say.
I'm not surprised, man. I am not surprised.
But yeah, it turned out great. And honestly, man, we should do some more stuff like that. I've actually been lately, although I kind of slacked off. I've been slacking off on this for the last couple months, but I've been doing this joke. I think you'll appreciate this. So there's on Twitter, there was this bot, a Twitter bot that was started posting AI generated metal band album covers.
That is hilarious already by itself. AI generated metal album. Okay, let's go, Cyberdyne.
And they came with it was just a band name and a title. I guess a track title or an album title. And they're pretty. We were marveling at how these are pretty good. These could be an album. And so I started. I just started making songs to go with some of them.
Okay.
So that particular Twitter account was called "This Band Isn't Real."
Okay, so hold on. They were just making titles
with an album cover.
So titles and a cover, so an image.
Yeah.
And then you just started making songs to go along with them.
Yeah.
This is classic.
If you think about it, it's a really fun compositional exercise.
That is, it's awesome.
But I've slacked off on this quite a bit, but I actually have a bunch of them on deck that I haven't done vocals for.
Okay, that is crazy. That's amazing.
But I can send them all to you.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do some vocals. Oh, so, so by the way, dude, Bob, you've had to at least in your lifetime so far, you've recorded or been involved with at least 1,000 different tracks.
I don't know.
At least.
I don't know.
At least. Because listen, I recorded 200 songs in 8 days. Once.
What?
Yeah, so
200
in 8 days. So here, a little bit of
That's quite a lot.
bragging rights. So, but they were all improvised. And it was based on the idea that you had said to me when you were like, "Hey, I just want to play the show, and we're just gonna get on stage. We're just gonna do whatever." And I'm like, "This motherfucker is crazy." He just wants to go on stage and do a show without planning anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so time goes along. Anyway, I met this guy named Donald Dias, and his father happens to be one of the original members of a band from the 70s called Steely Dan. And
What?
yeah, and he himself, Donald, the son of Denny Dias, who's one of the guitar players from Steely Dan, is a phenomenal guitar player all in his own right. However, he's not a person who likes to play the same thing twice. So he refuses to even go back into a studio and record a song that we recorded as an improvisation so that I can get my vocals right. He's like, "Nah, I already played that once. We're not doing that again." That's what it's like. So every day.
That's pretty extreme, I would say.
Yeah, so we would ride around on the train or the bus or just run into to each other in random places. Like, I would just be like, "Hey, Bob, hey, Donald, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I was just driving by and I saw you playing your guitar." He would just jump out his car, park his car somewhere, and then just grab my guitar from me and start playing. And so we recorded 200 songs in 8 days of just improvising, of just crazy stuff. And it was one of the coolest experiences I have. And every time I was just like, man, if only fucking Bob was here. If Bob was here to see this and to participate, this would be even. I can't even imagine what the hell you two guys would do with the improvisational skills going on. I would just. But anyway.
There's a thing that I've done it once and I really want to do it again, but obviously time for me is a precious asset.
You have a wife and a baby.
Yeah.
And a full-time job.
Yeah. But there's an online community. It's like an online community that is also like a challenge, if you will. So it's called Song a Day for a month. Sad Fam. Song a Day for a month.
Okay.
So it's
I've heard of this.
So it's really cool. I would recommend it to everyone and anyone basically who wants to basically get your songwriting chops a kick in the pants, basically. And it's just a challenge. It's like write one song a day for a month. And it seems simple, but man, it gets really hard eventually.
There was a rapper that I started following on YouTube who was doing that, and it was like it forces you to flex those mental musical muscles. And he was doing it. He was doing it. And because of him doing that, he built up I don't even remember who it is because I stopped. It just wasn't my thing, but I comment everyone. I think we have like this, like one of our names is the same. Like he's like also a Hakeem or something like that. But he was just every day doing this and coming up with like these like 1 minute or 2 minute rap songs. And I was like, damn, bro, like this is incredible. Like, how do you do? I was like, I'm too lazy for that. Like, I can't. I wrote you a message, earlier, text messaging, like, if it was up to me, all of my podcasts and everything I do would sound like old CB radios from like like zombie apocalypse stuff. Like I just for some reason I just really like lo-fi stuff. I don't know why. I just love lo-fi. It's like a huge thing for me. I don't know what it is. I'm like addicted to fucked up sounding shit. Like I'm addicted to stuff that sounds like World War II communications or something. Like that is just desperate last ditch effort. Like that you have the worst equipment ever and you're trying to figure it out. Like I just
there's been some like a revival. I'm not sure exactly. Like it's hard to know. It's hard to know the details behind any black metal production because they're so
my
freaking,
god,
they
brought
make it
that
so
up.
hard, like to understand. But like there's like a lot of stuff that's being released, and like I really have no idea if it's contemporary or a re-release.
Yeah.
But it like where it's just like 90% tape hiss, and there's like a band like you can barely
kind
parse
of in the
out.
background. Yeah.
Like the vocalist just sounds like someone turned on a faucet or something.
It's like here's some white noise plus maybe there's music.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of recordings coming out like that, and honestly, it's like some of it's it's such a mood, right, to put something like that on and listen to it,
and then listen to it. Yeah.
It really contributes to the particularly people that are old in metal. Like remember listening to metal a lot on tapes to begin with.
Yeah.
And you would have like a crappy tape that someone made you that's like a...
Right, like a friend is like, yo, listen to this black metal band from Sweden.
Yeah, so they'd copy a tape for you, and then you would have like a messed up tape eventually. You'd let it sit out in the sun or whatever, and it's like all warbly and messed up.
So I'm not that bad, okay?
No, but like that's that aesthetic. I think that this aesthetic kind of extends across multiple genres, not just metal.
But I am kind of a found tape person. Like what's supposed to be like the Blair Witch Projects, right? Like we found this tape. No, you didn't. So I'm kind of into that.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm more like, okay, so here's the thing with me. I just want to film everything in one take. Just like how your Brady Bunch videos, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
We don't have to.
Well, no, but somehow you're doing that. And Bob, I'm not self-deprecating. I'm lazy. So if I have to record a drum part and then get bass and then guitars and then vocals, I want to do it one time and one time only. And if my vocals are out of tune or the guitar is not sounding, I'm not going to do it again. I'm just not. I don't have time for that.
There is a spectrum here. We talk about this on the podcast all the time of because there are some people that are crippled by revision.
Wow, that sounds like a band in itself. Crippled by revision.
But that they want to work on something for so long, and it takes so long to get it out. And there are benefits to doing that, right? Like if you do that, you kind of learn the limits of what you're capable of doing. Yeah. But in terms of flexing your creative muscle, getting it down as quickly as possible and moving on is that's the way to really be as creative as you possibly can be, I think.
And that's what I try to do, and that's why I can't spend my time repeating stuff over and over again. Because I'm like, This is what the idea is. This is what I thought. Let me record this and move on. So I'm sort of perpetually recording demo tapes for maybe another band in the future to record it properly, Yeah.
Well, you're probably cycling through more recordings than you would be otherwise by doing that. So you're getting more practice at one thing versus another.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you said before, there's a balance.
It's I mean, there can be a balance. It's like a spectrum because, like, it can be, you're probably more on one extreme end of, like, never wanting to ever redo something. Like, that's a little bit
that's
more
Donald,
extreme.
That's Donald Dias. That's Donald Dias. He's like, I did that once. We're not doing it again. I'm like, what? Donald, come on, man. We could at least earn a living from recording one album. No, we already did it. I'm not doing it again.
There's a band that I recorded drums for. Well, I was recording a bunch of stuff for in Miami. That, like, I think I didn't actually end up on the album because they spent so many years. Like, I mean, maybe my drum tracks just sucked. That's possible.
I really don't think that was the case. Trust me.
No, it could be possible.
I just don't think so.
Or it could be the case that they just didn't like the vibe that I was
You're
doing.
being too humble, Bob.
I think what was going on was that they were in a revision heavy process. So, like, they kept redoing everything over and over and over again. So, like, they redid the drum tracks, redid the vocal tracks, redid the guitar tracks, blah, blah, blah. And, like, eventually I left Miami, and so they redid the drum tracks with another drummer. And that's why I'm not on the album, I think. But it's, like, it wasn't necessarily that I guess I didn't do it well enough to make the final cut. But that kind of revision heavy process, I mean, it definitely, to the person making those decisions, you're getting closer to the idealistic version of what you're making.
Okay. Well, yeah, I get that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not, so people could probably label me as quantity over quality.
Sure, yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Because I feel like other people can produce the quality. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can record a song and then I can hand it to you, for example. And I could be like, yo, this is the idea. Can you make this fucking dope? So I can then go... so I can then put my vocals over it later and it sounds fucking clean. Actually, that's actually the truth, though. Like, there was a guy named Keith Merrow, and we did one song together, and it was called Phoenix or Rise from the Ashes. And we were in my apartment in Hollywood on Argyle Avenue, and in 8 hours, we recorded this fucking crazy, amazing death metal song. And then, because I broke up with my girlfriend and I moved out and I was homeless and I was living in my car, I lost contact I lost contact with a lot of people. Because I could have kept the apartment. Like, I could have been like, yo, you leave, right? But I don't know why. For some reason, I thought, you know what? This will be an interesting adventure. Let me just live in my car.
Damn, man, that's brave.
And I lost contact with him. And he sent me a CD with like 12 songs on it that he wanted me to put vocals on. But I didn't know because I wasn't living there anymore. And I think he thought that I was ignoring him. And then I taught him how to program drums digitally. And so then he went on to start doing a bunch of albums on his own where he did the drums. Because he's an amazing guitar player. He's not a vocalist. He's just a master guitar player. That's his thing. But I taught him how to do drum programming on a Casio CTK 730 keyboard or whatever it was. And he then went on and started using computer software and did that. Look him up. Keith Merrow. He's like kind of a big deal.
How do you spell the last name?
Merrow. And so, yeah, Keith Merrow. And he does a bunch of stuff now. But I think that he thinks that I dissed him because whenever I try to contact him, he just ignores me. And it was because when he sent me that CD, I never got to doing the vocals. Like, you remember when you sent me Play My Game and I didn't respond for like a year?
Yeah.
And I finally got to it? That's because I was going through some shit. Like, I was having problems and I couldn't. Like, I for real was like figuring out where I'm going to sleep. And what I'm gonna eat. Like, I'm in California now. I came out here with this girl, and then we broke up because I'm a jerk. And what am I gonna do? And
damn,
it was just...
That's crazy. How long were you homeless for?
Let me think. 2003 February until maybe like 10 months, but then it became an on and off thing, where then I just started doing it just because I was like, this is actually kind of interesting. So
Interesting.
yeah, I was just like, wait a minute, are you telling me I don't have to pay rent, but I could spend all my money by hanging out in coffee shops and on my laptop that has Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
And I could just save a bunch of money and like just pay all my car bills and just drive a cool car and just not give a shit. But but the first time was not on purpose. And it was because my girlfriend one day, she just got angry with me and she said, get out. And I was like, all right. And then we were going to decide what we were going to do with the apartment. And I don't know why I did this, Bob, but I just said, okay, you know what? I'm going to leave. You keep the apartment. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about me. I'm just going to go. And then I just left without consideration about where I was going to go. I packed all my stuff into this black Ford Probe GT that I had, and threw everything else away and just left.
Wow.
And interestingly enough, ended up dating or having sex with, I don't know what you want to call it, I don't know what was going on there, with a photographer who was kind of a famous photographer who lived across the street from where we were before. And so my ex-girlfriend
really?
had to see me hanging out with this super hot blonde, like Norwegian chick who was a photographer.
Oh, man.
It was an accident.
That's funny.
I didn't mean to do that. I just saw her one day when I was packing up my car, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like,
she was still in the same apartment.
Yeah, but I was packing up my car one day, and I looked across the street, and this woman comes out in these little shorts and like a tube top, and she's checking her mail, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" I don't know how many of those moments you have in your life, but I just saw her. I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, do you spend every day in the gym? Are you a mom? Like, in my head, I was like, what is happening right now? And why? And my testosterone that takes over the male brain made me go over and say hi to her. And then, she became my girlfriend for a while.
Yeah.
And ended up being a famous photographer for, like, Rolling Stone magazine and, like, a bunch of other stuff. And I'm not going to say her name just because I'll tell you later off air, but I don't want to mess with her. But,
Yeah.
it was just crazy. And... anyway, it's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Robert Woods LaDue. And now, so, the thing is that I know that you've produced a lot of instrumentals, and you just make a crazy amount of music, and your voice is very interesting. The thing is that, Bob, the thing about you is that you have no problem singing. However, I'm going to say, vocals are not your strong point, but somehow you pull it off all the time.
Yeah, they're definitely... Yeah, I mean...
It's not an insult,
like...
by the way. I'm just telling you. It's just like, vocals are not your thing, but every time you sing, it's fucking gangbusters. You're a gangster. Like, you just do it. I'm just like, how...
It's tricky for me, like, honestly, like, if I listen back, like, in the Bay Area, I was playing a lot with a band that, I would call Denny Breakfast. And so we would play, and, like, the problem was, like, that I always have is, like, who's going to sing my songs? I'd have to sing my songs, right? Like, and so I get you can have other people to play the instruments or whatever. And then I listen back to it, I'm like, man, I'm really not like my pitch is not really that good. Particularly in a live setting, I get too excited and I start overdoing it, and I just have a bad sense of pitch, and like my tone's not clear. And I wasn't
I have to
projecting
disagree
well.
with that. Your pitch may be off, but your tone is always on point. Like,
Well, I'm talking about like specific like live recordings of me playing live. And so like recording is a different situation for sure. And honestly, I use autotune a lot of times.
really?
For things.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean not all the time, but it's like for certain things like.
Because I think that you're one of the best vocalists too. Like you start singing, and I'm like, oh shit, here comes what the fuck. Like Bob's singing the song, like some of the songs that we recorded together, and then like you're singing parts. I'm just like, well, how did this work so well?
Yeah, but like I feel like I've actually learned a lot about singing in the last maybe like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And in terms of like how to use my voice, how to project when I need to, and how to control my vibrato a little bit better, because that's
Okay.
actually I find to be like that actually is a huge corrector for pitch if you can use vibrato in your voice.
Yeah.
So, and I learned all of that from practicing Afro-Cuban music.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I didn't learn that from other stuff. I learned that from singing Afro-Cuban music, for sure.
Really? So you feel like Afro-Cuban music singing has helped you to figure out your tone, not only that, but as well as using vibrato to find your tone?
Yeah, like, I mean, I haven't played live in a long time, so I don't have a good point of reference for this, but I feel like, I mean, I'm going to try. I'm actually, one of the things that I'm trying to do right now is get a band together to try to play somewhere in Bakersfield, because, you know, there's really a lot of opportunities to play here, and like some great musicians, and I just want to start playing. Just want to start doing it. So.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Bakersfield is where Korn is from.
Yes. Yeah.
The grandfathers of nu metal. I love Korn. A lot of people don't. Why do you think a lot of people don't like Korn, Bob?
Well, their lyrics are a little bit. Korn lyrics are a little bit. Would be maybe offensive to like the conservative types, for starters. I think that was like.
So they have a song called "Faggot," for example.
Yeah, and like, and then on top of that, like they're not very like
creative,
very poetic and deep. They're very simple, like, you know, kind
Bob,
of like get you riled up lyrics.
They're a freak on a leash. Have you heard that song?
Yeah.
He told everybody the truth.
Let me just say, like, I like Korn plenty well.
Listen, he said, "Feeling like a freak on a leash, feeling like I have no release." He told the truth about the record label. Something takes a part of me, right? Like he was just like.
That's about a record label?
Yes, that song is absolutely about him being part of. Yeah, "Freak on a Leash." Listen to it. It's about how Jonathan.
That does make sense.
How Jonathan Davis felt like he was being controlled by his record label, which I at the time was God, gosh darn it, I don't remember. It's not coming to my mind right now.
Was it Interscope?
Something like that. Something takes a part of me. Right? He was talking about the record label.
That does make sense.
But he disguised it, and it had one of the best scats in history. Boom, da, da, yes, exactly. Go, dude. The one of the best scats in all of nu metal history. Like they're the godfathers of nu metal. But yes, he felt like he was a freak on a leash, and one of my favorite Korn albums is actually the one after that one, Issues. Oh yeah.
I feel like that one was like a little bit more settled into they felt a little bit more settled, because if you compare, like, for example, if you compare Life is Peachy to,
which I didn't really like that much, but it was good. But
what's the third one now? What's the third one called?
So we have Korn, which is the first major studio album. We have Issues. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. We can look it up though. Hold on, just for a second. Let's see what
Korn discography.
Yeah, let's
they
see.
have a bunch. Their new album is actually quite good, I think, but I haven't really listened to it that much.
Jonathan Davis is the driving force behind Korn, and also well, no, I can't really say that. The whole band was very good since, like, they did together. They did something that nobody else did.
Yeah, they can't, like, you can't discount really anyone in that band.
Exactly. Yeah.
The drummer was very inventive. The guitar player, obviously, both the guitar players were doing things that they really set the tone for music.
And the bass player,
like, a whole genre of music.
Right. And the bass player.
Yeah, and the bass player, like, no one. The sound of the bass player was so.
Yeah, who does that? It was just like, okay, and then, other bands tried to, like, okay, the term nu metal with a U was based off of Korn. Like, they for real started a new genre.
Yeah, people were calling it rap metal too, but I think that wasn't a good name for it.
Limp Bizkit was rap metal, and they weren't even really good rap metal. Like, they did one album that was probably really good rap metal, which was the one that had Nookie. I did it all for the Nookie. Come on, do it. Like, that was, like, probably their best album. Chocolate Starfish.
I think that Korn stands the test of time, but I think that Limp Bizkit does not stand the test of time.
No, they don't. They definitely don't.
Yeah.
They're crap. They're crap. Nobody gives a shit about Limp Bizkit compared to Korn. Come on.
And they just came out with a new album, though.
Dude, Korn, Jonathan Davis did almost the entire soundtrack for Queen of the Damned, which was
really?
Yeah, which was one of my wife's favorite movies. Like,
I've never seen that movie.
Dude, Jonathan Davis pretty much does every single song. Of course, there's other bands.
Is that a good movie? Should I check it out?
You should. It's okay. I would put it in the background.
Okay.
It's a vampire movie. Okay?
I like vampire movies.
Here's what I would do.
That's like a 90s movie, right?
Bob, yeah, it is, Bob. But here's what I would do. First, I would look up on YouTube Key and Peele vampires. Okay?
Okay.
Watch Key and Peele doing vampires, and then watch Queen of the Damned.
Okay.
And you'll be all right.
I'll take your prescription then.
By the way, I'm name dropping again, but I actually happen to be very closely connected to Keegan Michael Key from Key and Peele.
Oh, wow.
It's a crazy.
I honestly don't know which person is which. Visually.
So Key is the taller, skinny, bald guy.
Okay.
And Peele is the shorter, darker-skinned, creative guy who's made movies like Us, Them, They, and he produces a lot of movies.
So which
Jordan Peele. Yeah, he's the guy who produces movies. I'm closely connected. Have not met yet. Keegan Michael Key.
Okay, cool. He's hilarious.
He is hilarious.
So, I saw there was a Predator sequel.
Yes.
That he's in.
Yes.
It is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
He plays like they're like that movie has such insane because the Predator franchise is basically an action sci-fi.
Okay, because it started off with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and
Part 2 has Danny Glover from the Lethal Weapon franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, setting the tone right there.
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, there's no way to not watch that movie, which I think is just called Predators or something. What's it called?
Okay, so yeah,
the naming conventions of these movies are
So
it's like
predators,
Predator 2, Predators, Predator,
yes,
a Predator.
yeah, it's because they're trying to keep it. Look, Bob, here's the thing that you need to understand, that everybody is trying to do search engine optimization.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, what's wrong with like Predator 3? Like what?
Dude,
why can't that exist?
They don't listen, man. People are so concerned. Listen, making money is fine. We need to earn money, right? We do.
Yeah, of course.
But people are obsessed with it to a point where they're not willing to make mistakes. They're trying to be scientists. They're trying to be, basically they're trying to be chemists. But they're fucking up because they're trying too hard. Okay?
Yeah.
In my opinion, what you are doing in your life is the right thing. You are making music, and you're making really fucking good music, and you're making a lot of it, and you're experimenting with it, and you're putting it out there, and you're just saying to yourself and maybe out loud, I don't care what you think, here's my song, and I'm gonna make it on 9 different screens, and the Brady Bunch Chronicles, and here we go.
Brady Bunch Chronicles. That's the album title for when I put that out on Bandcamp.
But for real,
I'm stealing that from you.
And you're just making music. And I'm looking at this like, what the fuck? Where's this guy? Is he an alien? Like, is he? What are you doing?
I mean, there's a lot of very prolific people, man.
There are, Bob. There
I'm
are a lot of prolific people, but there are not a lot of prolific people like you, because listen, there are a lot of prolific people in jazz. There are a lot of prolific people in classical. I know a guy right now who is prolific in heavy metal, but there are no Robert Woods LaDues who's prolific in all that shit. I bet you if you picked up a sitar and decided, I'm going to play some Indian music, you would fuck that shit up. Like, I just...
Well, yeah. I think actually anyone can learn anything. My dad learned how to play, he picked up bluegrass mandolin pretty well in his retirement age.
Your dad picked up mandolin?
Yeah, bluegrass, no less.
And bluegrass mandolin, which is...
Yeah.
So bluegrass... Okay. Let's stop and talk about this subject for a second, because I'm a big bluegrass fan. So, folks, if you don't know about bluegrass, let's get into this for a second.
Hold on. Can we pause for just 1 second? I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that. When you come back, I'm probably going to talk some crazy shit in the interim.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, listen. Robert Woods LaDue. I met this guy by accident. Totally by accident. Or maybe the universe has a plan for all of us. I don't know. But he's one of the people that I always remember him. Because he's had such a huge impact in my life. Because not only is he one of the most creative musicians that I've ever met, but he's also technically talented. Meaning he has like academic training. Can you imagine what I'm talking about? Think about this. Think about what I'm saying for a second. So there's a person who's just physically gifted as an athlete, right? Like, oh shit, here we go. Mike Tyson. This is a perfect example of this. So, because I'm a martial artist, right? Let's look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is perfectly physically gifted. And then he somehow runs into Customato, who is a scientist, who hypnotizes, and by the way, I have a degree in clinical hypnosis, right? Who uses hypnosis on Mike Tyson and tells him all the time that he's going to be the champion of the world. All right? That's what Customato does. This is what Robert Woods LaDue is. he's like a person who has natural ability, and then somehow somebody comes into his life and is just like, okay, I'm going to sculpt you. And so he has the combination of all these things. Of like being naturally talented and then guided by a master? Okay, when does that happen? And then starts putting shit out. Hey Bob, what's up? And then starts putting shit out. Like, when does that happen in the world? Okay? And that's the person I'm talking to, okay? People. Okay, so have some respect. Have some respect,
you're
motherfuckers.
You're blowing me up too much, man. You're blowing too much smoke up my cake.
Have some respect, people. Listen to what we are talking about and listen carefully, because we're talking to beyond black belt here. Okay, this is not a casual. It sounds casual because I'm retarded, but we're talking to a master. We're talking to Bob. We're talking to Robert Woods LaDue. No, for real, Bob. I'm not joking. I don't think. Listen. Take a deep breath.
I know you're not joking.
Take a deep breath for a second. I'm telling the truth. Like, Bob, I've been around a lot of people. I've been around the people who are in my favorite bands who I respect. I met Dino Caceres of Fear Factory.
Oh, really?
I was doing capoeira at a release party for one of his bands called Divine Heresy, and Timmy Vex, what the hell is his name? Vexed was like, hey man, thanks. I'm glad you're doing capoeira here at the party. Who then went on to cover the Cranberries song Zombie on the same exact day that the singer from Cranberries died.
Wow.
And like, dude, trust me, I'm not just name dropping. I know a lot of people are like, how can we talking shit? You know all these people and whatever and blah blah. No, I fucking, for real, this is my life for some reason. I don't know why. When does this happen? But all my favorite people, you surpassed them all instrumentally. Like, somehow, I don't know who the hell you are. I listen to your podcast, right? And I'm like, okay, why is Bob being so humble? Like, you should just be smacking people in their fucking faces. Shut up, everybody. Listen to me. I am God.
Well, you know as well as I do that that's not how to be in the world, man.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And, dude, man, like, I listen to the songs that we've made together, like Sharing.
Sure.
Sharing is fun. You should learn of how to share your toys. Don't share your needles or your diseases, but everything else is cool. Like, that's like, for real. Do you know how many people I've met in like a bar, like a hot chick, and she's like, hey man, let's go hang out, whatever. I was like, listen, don't share your needles or your diseases, but everything else is cool. Everything else is cool. You can share whatever you want, blowjobs, anal sex. I don't care, but just, we're not doing needles. We're not doing diseases, because that's the law of Bob. Okay, all right.
Oh man,
I learned it. I mean, I should have known better, because we should have had sex ed classes in school. But Bob, he fucking codified it in a song. Don't share your needles or your diseases. Like who? Yeah.
An easy to remember mnemonic.
Exactly. So I'm like, yo, that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna share needles or what? You want to do heroin? No. Why? Why don't you want to do heroin, Hakeem? Because Bob said, don't share your needles, bitch.
Oh man.
Because he said it.
Man.
Don't share your needles.
I was listening to like a lot of like Frank Zappa type of music around that time, and I wish. I think there's like that stuff is funny, but like a lot of that kind of silly stuff kind of it's hard to make something that is gonna last because comedy itself is so temporal. Like,
by the way, that's it's also it's very timeless. I know what you're saying, that comedy is temporal in some ways. You're right.
Yeah, it can be. It can, like, I mean, obviously comedy can be timeless, but that is really difficult because a lot of it's based on culture, and culture changes.
Yes.
I mean, everything is framed in culture, of course. Music is framed in culture as well.
But Bob, seriously, where the fuck did you come up with that? Did somebody give somebody a disease, or like, for real? Why would you say that? Don't share your needles or your diseases, but everything else is funny. Cool. And then you were like, "Here, Hakeem, sing these lyrics." And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna say this. But everything else is cool. But everything else is cool. Like, why? It was so true. Because at the time, we were both, well, you were in college, and I was just hanging out with a bunch of college people. Dude, listen, I fucked up, Bob. I fucked up.
What?
On the campus of University of Miami, there were so many hot chicks, dude. When they were like, come to my dorm room, or like, can I go to your place? I never said no. I don't know why. But I also followed Bob's rules. Don't share your needles or diseases. Just don't. For real. Why should you? Don't. And I was like, this is for real. Like, you can't. Tell me if there is a person who disagrees with that advice.
I like how you're extracting this like really this immense deep wisdom from this
ridiculous song.
This moment sharing.
And then you're like, look. I hope you get vertigo. I hope you don't get vertigo.
That song was recorded, like the guitars had like ring modulator on them instead of distortion or something like that. It's pretty wild. Pretty goofy.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? Because if you don't, you're giving instructions for elementary school level children.
Yeah. What was the other one called where it had like
So we had sharing. What other one? Are you talking
there
about?
was one I can't remember because like the middle of it you're like, oh, I'm falling.
Circles.
You know
Circles. Circles.
Circles?
I think that's that's what I called it.
Yeah.
Cause like,
I don't remember.
Oh no, I'm falling, help! Like, and I landed on a soft couch. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what is happening? The whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Frank Zappa's old adage, does humor belong in music?
Dude, Bob, nobody has done what you've done in music. Like, I've tried to listen. I've listened to a lot of music, and I'm listening. And dude, and then at the end of the song is, the sky is falling. This guy is calling. Like, the whole play on words thing, right? This guy is calling. So am I saying this guy is calling or the sky is falling? Who knows? I don't know. I still don't even know. I'm sure that I don't know that I don't know. Like, I was like, this is fucking brilliant. That's all I was like, holy shit. I am in the presence of a master. And listen, don't be embarrassed. Don't feel shy. Don't don't feel like I'm like praising you too much. This is the fucking truth. You did this shit. You actually did this. This is your fault. You did it. And I'm just a fucking passenger, just being like, what the fuck is happening? How did this happen in my life?
Have you ever heard the band Cephalic Carnage?
Yes. You actually introduced me to Cephalic Carnage.
Yeah, I probably took a lot of inspiration from them for those songs because they had all those like silly weed songs, like with all the like kind of goofy circusy metal riffs, you know.
But I also was introduced before that Cephalic Carnage because of the fact that Exit 13, which I'm not sure you're familiar with, but Exit 13 and 6 Feet Under, which was headed by Chris Barnes from Cannibal Corpse, they did a lot of weed songs. So Exit 13 was a huge political band. They even did a song that started off like this. It says, weed, weed, weed all day long. So yeah. But they were a death metal band. And then they did a song that says, open season hunter slaughter, and had the craziest vocals ever. But they were huge. All they talked about was weed. So yes, Cephalic Carnage, Exit 13, and then 6 Feet Under. Yes.
I really love the album, Cephalic Carnage album, Exploiting Dysfunction. It's like, I think one of the earliest albums I got into. So like, I got to see them. Do you remember that place in Fort Lauderdale, the Culture Room?
Dude, I played there. Yeah.
Really?
Yep, I played at the Culture Room. I played
That's
at
awesome.
So listen, Bob. The thing you have to understand about I moved to Fort Lauderdale when I was 13 or something like that. So I was really young.
Oh.
And then I lived there for 13 years until I was about like 26 or 27. So, yeah, I was there for a long time. So.
Hey, wait, what? With whom did you play at the Culture Room?
I played there with. Hold on. Let me start from the beginning. I played there with a band called Sickness. I played there with Deicide. I played there with Candiria. No. I never played with Candiria. Let me exit.
Like opening for those bands?
Yeah. Oh, I played opening acts for them. But Candiria is wrong. I didn't play there with Candiria. I saw Candiria at the at the Viper Room, but I never played with Candiria. So let me backtrack on that part. Incessant Torment. Who's the song who did Love Song? Fuck you, dirty whore. I don't need you anymore. Brutal Mastication.
I don't know these bands.
There are a lot of locals. Shit. And there's one other major one that you should know of at the Culture Room. Oh my God. Why am I not remembering their name right now? But yes, I played with a lot of local metal bands. Why am I not remembering this one right now? This is very important because this is actually... Okay. Culture Room. We're going to come back to this, but... And this is a major band, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yes, so I have played so my band was called Acrimonium. By the way, just a side note, if you want to, you can look up. I'm actually in the Heavy Metal Encyclopedia.
Oh, really?
There's a website called Encyclopedia Metallum or something, Metallum Encyclopedia, something like that. But I'm in the. If you look up the band Acrimonium, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna send.
I'm looking it up, man.
I'm gonna send you the text, though. I'll send you a text.
Is it Metal-Archives?
Yes, Metal Archives.
Yeah.
And if you look up, Mordecai, Mordekai, you'll see a picture of me with a fucking ninja sword.
Wait, hold on. How do you spell Mordecai again?
Mordekai. But I'm gonna let me see. I may send you this.
this is like a band.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you the text message
Okay.
so you can find it.
Well, you can get a random band here. I wonder if I'm on the right site here.
Hold
I
on.
wonder if I'm in this.
Encyclopedia. It's actually called Encyclopedia Metallum.
Have you heard my project ONKOS, by the way?
Yeah, dude. So I saw that ONKOS. I was like, yo, this is octopus? What's happening right now? Like,
yeah, that logo by Devin Smith. Amazing. There's a second album that's been waiting for release for a while. Oh, you can search by hold on. Because you can search by band name or artist. So let me search Mordecai again.
No. I'm about to actually send it to you. So you can
Too late, I found it.
Do you see my bald head with the fucking sword?
Yep. Yeah. Poems.hypnoathletics.com.
Yeah, that's the site that I defer to, which is
Cool.
So, but yes, ONKOS, I saw that and I was like, dude, why? It's like, what the I can't. I'm like, dude, Bob, can you slow down for a second? And let me just catch up, okay? Let me just be a bunch of mashed fucking tomatoes. Let me just catch up, okay? Can we just stop for a second? For 1 second. So now I'm trying to keep up with the fact that we made like 5 songs together. And I'm trying to share this with the world. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And then you go off and do some other shit. And then I'm like, come on. Dude, bro, you're one of the best. I so appreciate you, the fact that you've come into my life. And listen, Bob, what year is it? It's 2022, right?
Yep, time's running out.
When did we meet each other?
It had to have been 2003 or 2.
So almost 20 years. We've known each other at least almost 20 years. Is that fucking crazy or what?
And like haven't really kept up at all.
And you're still a young man. Like you just had a baby.
Kinda.
You just had a baby? She's like 1 year old. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, perspective on youth, I would say, but.
Well, we're definitely healthier than people who are our age, like in another. I don't know. What do you call it?
I'm actually not feeling very healthy right now, just because I particularly I can't.
Well, Bob, let me be your personal trainer. We're gonna change all that. Bob, I'm still Bob. I'm still doing backflips, Bob. Do you understand me?
What's that?
I'm still doing backflips, okay? Without pain.
Yeah.
So we can change your life.
Are you actually going to come back to California?
Yeah, I don't... Listen, Virginia Beach is cool. I like it. It's a fun place.
Yeah. Virginia's cool.
I think it's great. We're near the ocean. I'm in Virginia Beach. I'm not in Arlington or any of this. I'm Virginia Beach. I'm the ocean. But yes, I am coming back to California because I love California. And so I have a 5-foot by 10-foot storage unit in California full of books. I have a library in California. So yes, I am actually going back to California at some point in time. I don't know if it's going to be my permanent residence because I have 3 choices. I'm either going to stay in California, Texas, or Florida. I'm just not sure yet. Yeah.
But not Virginia Beach?
Yeah, it's a cool place to restart. I just don't think it's a cool place for me to stay.
How did you land there, coming from China?
Well, I got on an airplane and flew to California. And on September 4th of 2021, I landed at LAX. And I got on a bus and I started on the bus going into Hollywood, California, where I had a job, by the way, and I was going to restart my life. So I was like, I'm not coming here with nothing.
Yeah.
But as I was on the bus, several incidents happened that made me feel like I was in a Resident Evil movie.
Well,
And so I got on the bus and went back to LAX and flew to Virginia Beach. Because my sister lives here and one of my younger brothers lives here. And I just felt like I can't handle the insanity that's happening right now in Los Angeles, California. I just couldn't. Like, 2 years, my wife is dead. The person who I loved the most in the whole world, who I thought my future was going to be filled with. I was just drinking every day and just eating takeout food and just feeling like shit. And then I met this Chinese girl who 7 months after my wife died, was very aggressive. She's a bodybuilder. She was being very nice to me. She was very pretty, a very pretty face. And she was paying attention to me, and she was like, hey, I just want to be with you, and da-da-da-da. I understand that your wife died. But then she became very abusive. It got to the point where she was physically abusing me, like punching me in the face and throwing things at me, breaking my personal equipment, and telling me I was a piece of shit. And so then I had to leave China, and I was like, oh my God, I thought I was cool, but then this started happening. And anyway, this is where yeah, exactly, Bob. That's exactly my own words. I was like, wow, how did I get to this? And MC Narcissist. That's why my whole channel is called MC Narcissist. Because she watches every day videos about narcissism.
she does.
Yeah, and then she tells me that I'm a narcissist.
Well,
You're
everybody's
this.
a little bit narcissistic.
You're this. You're that. You're blah, blah, blah. And so, because of the fact that she said I'm a narcissist, I said, you know what? I am. I accept your
diagnosis.
Yeah, I accept your diagnosis.
Yeah.
I accept your criticism. You're right. This is who I am. Because she made me feel that way. And so then I said, I'm self-centered. I'm this, I'm that. So I'm going to call myself MC Narcissist. And that's who I will brand myself for the rest of my life. But dude, she was the one who... Dude, I'm not joking. She punched me. She kicked me. She threw things at me. She destroyed laptops. She destroyed expensive computers, equipment. She spit in my
harsh,
face.
Man.
She said to me, she was like, Floor is a bitch. So she would start insulting my dead wife. Like, which is kind of hard. You know, I was like, yo, wait, slow down. That's when it started getting weird. When she started insulting her.
Why would a person say that to another person?
Right. So I'm like, I would wake up from nightmares. I would wake up crying. And she's like, what's your problem? Are you dreaming about Floor? It's like, yeah, I just had a dream that she fell off a fucking building and I'm sad. Well, stop thinking about her. Dude, she's a bitch. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on for a second. I can't handle this right now. Right?
Yeah.
That's what it would be like. And I understand, look, women are competitive and you should not compare them to other women. But listen, I told you when we met that my wife died. And I'm sad and I'm grieving. And you're going to get mad at me because I wake up from a dream that she's dying? And then you're going to tell me that you're faking. You're just telling everybody that your wife died to get attention. What the fuck?
Ooh.
She's a bitch. That's the main thing she would say all the time. Bitch. I'm just like... I'm like, please stop.
That's really hard, man.
And I'm like, yo, Are you sure that you don't want me to kick you into the next universe? Because I'm thinking that. The whole time I'm thinking, like, I'm going to kick you until you die. But, like, I never did that. But she just kept on pushing it over and over again. Anyway, we're done. So Bob, let's stop. We're not talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bring up the hard times, but
so I'm gonna bring back the subject of Robert Woods LaDue. Dude, we really have to change the subject. So we're coming back, like for real though. Like one of the things that I appreciate about you is that not only did you figure out what you were doing, all of a sudden, because you are who you are, you met this amazing woman. And then you guys made a new life. And I'm just like, holy shit. Congratulations, Bob.
Thank you, man.
It came out of nowhere.
I'm very lucky.
But it came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't even expecting it.
Well, I mean...
Where did you meet her?
That we started dating, I think, 2007 or 2008. Yeah. And so we dated for almost 10 years before we got married.
Yeah. So where did you meet her?
I was going to Cal Arts. I think I probably met her shortly after whenever I met you in LA that one time.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's been a long time, but I was going to Cal Arts and she was around. She was roommates with other people that were going to Cal Arts.
Yeah.
And we were friends. Like, we would hang out and yeah, I mean, one thing leads to another, man. Because
I was like, yo, Bob. I was like, this dude, yeah, you're a talented musician, but you're also a fucking nerd. And I was like, how did this super hot fucking chick be like, I'm gonna be with Bob? Because I saw her, I was like, wait a minute, really? Bob, I'm not fucking insulting you. Because you're a handsome guy, and you're very soft spoken, and like you're totally fucking cool. But I'm like, this chick must have found some inner shit about Bob. Like she had to have been like, I met him on another level. Like I know his music. I know his brain. There's something else going on here because on the outside, Bob, you don't give a fuck about anybody. On the outside, because when I first met you at University of Miami, you walked up and I'm like, yo, this fucking dude doesn't give a shit about anything. Like, because it's not that you were arrogant. It's just that you were just like, hi, bro. Let's play music together. You're just like, hello. I do this, and we're going to do this together. And I was just like, okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
I perhaps in my younger days was a little bit more oblivious to social cues, for sure.
Bob, are you sure you even have them now?
I'd like to think I'm a little bit better than I am. Because I think about some of the things that I used to do, and I'm like, ooh.
Because you're so assertive. You're like, hi, let's play music together. And I'm just like, I'm looking around. Okay. Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because, like, I've literally been doing that to people here in Bakersfield. Like, just trying to find people to play with. So,
yeah.
like, I was texting. I got like this person's number. So there's this guy. There's a percussionist in Bakersfield that I heard about that I know that plays with some bigger bands, and I was like, okay, I want to meet this guy, but I couldn't find anyone that like knew him, and so like I got this one person's number. Someone gave me a person's number who knows the guy, so I'm like, texting this person who I don't know, and I'm like, "Hello, my name is Robert Woods LaDue. Do you have this other person's number? I really want to play drums with them." And like,
So the thing is that
it is basically as you described, like, "Hello, I'd like to play drums."
yeah, but this is one of the rare things that a lot of people don't have. Like your assertiveness matches your talent, which you don't know that. And I'm just trying to tell you that right now. But you don't know that, but your assertiveness matches your talent. Like you could walk up to anybody. If you Bob, listen. If you walked up to Lady Gaga and you were like, "Hey, bitch, we're going to make this song together cuz this is the composition I have." She would look at your composition and she'd be like, "All right,
I'm not
Bob."
doing this.
No. She would be like, "All right, Bob, let's go." Because that's the level that you're at. She wouldn't even understand what she's looking at. She'd be so confused that she'd be like, "Yeah, this motherfucker right here is."
Okay, but some of this in my younger days was definitely missing out on social cues for sure.
Okay, I get that.
But I do think also like you have to just if you want to do something, you have to just do your best to just do it, and like you have to be respectful of people and be tactful, of course.
Right.
But like you have to try. If you don't try, like you can't just wait for things to happen to you.
Yes. So you also, what you're saying is you also have to own your shit. And Bob, you've done a very good balance of that. You've done a very good job of being humble, as well as saying, "Well, yeah, though. I'm the leader of this band." Because I've seen this. So I've seen you do a couple of things. I've seen you do things like this. "Hi, I'm Bob. Can I join your band?" And then I've also seen you, and then, no, stop for a second. And then I've also seen you say, "Hi, I'm Bob. You're all my minions." I've seen both of those. But they're both appropriate. And that's fine. And you know what? You also need to accept that. And here's the thing that you need to accept. You need to accept that I am looking from the outside in to you. And what I'm doing is acknowledging your genius. But I'm also acknowledging the fact that you're a fucking cool dude. Like, you just really are. Like, I kind of worship who you are, but at the same time, I also acknowledge that you're just a guy, which is fucking cool. All of that is cool, Bob. Like, I just don't fucking, and I also just don't understand how the fuck you even like me as a person. Like, I'm just like, dude, this guy's a star. Like, you have movie star status, and I'm like, holy shit.
Well, you are a very nice, like you're like it's funny I know that we haven't really even kept in touch or kept up with each other, but like I would like if I was explaining you to someone, I would call you a friend. Like I would say, "My friend Hakeem."
No, Bob, you are my friend, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, you are my friend, but I also look at you as a star because you have a supremely high level of talent, and you need to stop for a second and listen to what I'm saying. Bob, you are one of the most talented musicians, if not the most talented musician in the fucking world.
You're giving me too much credit, man.
No, dude, listen. I don't know anybody. Yes, you work hard. I don't know anybody else who's you. Like, you're fucking insane. How do you do what you do? It's just fucking incredible. Like, you just are. I can't even understand how, like, I'm so lucky that I made 5 or 6 songs with you. And then you went off, and then, what are you doing now? This African shit? Like, how? What?
Yeah.
How do you even figure that out? I'm talking to African people. Look, one of my clients right now is a dude from Angola. He's from Angola. Yeah. And I said, yo, listen to this. And he said, who this man is? Where he come from?
What did you play him?
I can't remember. I don't know. Why are you asking me? I'm not African.
Well, I'm just curious. Like, are you playing him death metal, or are you playing him?
Fuck no! I'm not playing him death metal.
What are you playing?
There is some video where you're just like, oh, this is something. Listen, it has the J sound in it, so it's like something djembe or something whatever.
Okay.
I don't. Hold on. I actually know because I have the email. Hold on. Let me look at the email. So give me a second, Bob. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm going to my emails right now. Hold on, because this is the definitive way for me to to know what the song was that I sent to him. Videos I sent. Oh shit! This is the okay. Hold on. I'm gonna listen. We're gonna play the song.
Okay.
So the studio audience, you're gonna listen to this. Bob, do you remember "Fire Under the Sun"?
Oh yeah, that's an old song, dude.
Yeah, you're also a fucking gangster. Here we go. Listen to this shit. Bob is on like 6 screens. He's wearing a red shirt. Why are you wearing a red shirt, Bob? What the fuck is this?
Oh, you're playing the YouTube video.
Yes, I am.
Ah.
And your voice is so amazing. You think you're not a good singer?
I definitely tuned this one because there's so many harmony parts. And the thing is, man, all these videos, I have to do them, like, not only do I have to do all the parts in one take,
yeah,
but I am also pressed for time because I get I have like a couple hours of time on a weekend where I can do a video like that, and it's like, that's all I get. So it's like, can you record all those 6-7 parts in this 2-hour window where like Sarah's gonna babysit or like Jody's asleep or whatever, and so like,
here's the problem of what you're saying, Bob. Nobody fucking knows that you're making any mistakes. Listen to this shit. Nobody cares. Listen to this. Everybody, listen to this. What the fuck? Did you hear that transition? Holy shit. This motherfucker, what? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. What? Who does that? Okay. So, listen, Bob. I'm sorry. I'm singing your praises. Listen, bro. Nobody's doing this. If we're, listen, hold on. Here we go.
Well, you know who inspired me to do this? Is Jacob Collier. You know Jacob Collier?
Yeah, I hope he's dead because nobody can. Listen, stop. Just stop. Hold on. 3, 2, 1, and boom. What? You fucking kidding me right now? Oh my god! Dude, so who cares? Jacob Collier. Who? Bob, what's wrong with you? Listen, man. Oh, yes, I do. Listen, bro. Hold on for a second. let's just address this. And I'm not ever going to speak about it again. Bob.
Do you have a sweet tooth?
No, I don't. Oh, shut up! I don't want your commercials. Listen, Bob. Here's my question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Why do you make music?
This is a good question. There was a point in time in high school, I was playing soccer a lot, and I was going on the tour, the away games and all that stuff, and at some point I made the decision. I was like, I don't want to play soccer. I need to make a choice to spend time on one thing or the other. And so I'm going to choose to omit soccer from my life in order to spend time playing music.
All right, so tell me about this no clean singing.
No clean singing? The blog?
ONKOS, hepatic.
There's a blog called No Clean Singing, right?
I don't know.
Is that what you're talking about?
I just know that I've seen ONKOS, because we talked about ONKOS earlier, and I thought, when I saw ONKOS, I was like, Hail Hydra, right? And so...
Yeah.
And then... I'm sorry, I'm taking this in a lot of different directions, but this is because this is what you've done. You didn't... Bob, let's not pretend that you've been linear, okay? You're not a linear person. If somebody thinks that, they're crazy. Listen, I've had a difficult time following you. You are not linear or normal.
We're all trees, man. Some people grow taller. Some people grow wider.
Well, you've grown. Hold on. So some people grow taller. Some people grow wider. Bob, you've grown spherically.
I definitely have in the last year or so.
You know about spheres, right? Like they're just like it's just where are we going now? I'm gonna go to the right, to the left, to the up, to the down, to the mid, to the right. You've grown spherically. You're like a little girl blowing bubble gum, right? She blows the bubble and it just goes every direction. That's what you do. And I'm okay with that. But ONKOS was one of the coolest things I've seen because, I don't know, did you do this on purpose? But when I found it, it was around the same time when Marvel Comics was doing Hydra. Is there any connection?
I don't even know. I'm not... I'm a little bit oblivious to the Marvel comic universe, so you'll have to fill me in.
Okay, so what about so forget about the Marvel comics. What about? Yeah, it's a thing. It's been around for a while, but here's another question. What about Cthulhu? What about H.P. Lovecraft?
Stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely so the graphic design of that was done by Devin Smith.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. So we went back and forth on the logo for a little bit. I don't remember actually what were the keywords that we said.
Because that's what ONKOS reminds me. It reminds me of some H.P. Lovecraft. Like big time. But it's also unique in itself and in the hearts. There are hearts in there. Like it's like you're like, oh, love. But we're looking at you. But we're also a fucking evil octopus. I was like, what? What is happening here? It's like hearts and eyes and octopuses. Like, I don't know what to think right now. Can somebody please help me? So you guys did a good job of really confusing the fuck out of people who were.
that album is kind of a bit of a concept album, where it's like kind of all the songs are a little bit about cancer.
That I got, especially when you talked about decay.
Yeah, I mean, there's like at least 2 songs on there where I'm like pedantically shouting cancer over and over again.
Yeah, but you also did a good job of, you really put out there the idea. You were just like, decay. The idea that comes from this is that I'm okay with dying. That's when I got that idea. So I don't know if that's what you put out, but let me just tell you right now. One of the ideas that I came away with from that, it was as if you were saying, I'm okay with dying because there's more to this world than what all of you can see. So that's a line. So when I looked at it, I was like, holy shit. You're like, I'm okay with
curious,
that. Yeah.
I'm curious what song or bit of lyric inspired you in that direction.
Well, so first of all, you were saying hepatic, which is talking about a specific organ.
Yeah.
We have to process these chemicals through this specific organ. But Bob, I'm not sure if I can pin it on a specific lyric, because are you aware that this is one of the longest albums that any human has ever had to endure?
The longest albums?
Dude.
What do you mean?
How many tracks do you have on there?
I don't even know. We even cut 2 out of them, honestly.
No, I really want you to just take a look at it. How many tracks are on there? And how long, on average, are the tracks? Please, take a look.
I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Are you trying to tell me that you have no idea what your own fucking album that you did? See, this is ladies and gentlemen, this is Robert Woods LaDue.
Wait, hold on.
This fucking guy produces. Hold on, this guy produces so much music that he has no idea how long one of his albums that inspired me, by the way, to think of octopus and suicide, because that's what it made me think of. It made me think of 8 tentacled creatures and exiting life. All right,
Whoa.
this guy. All right.
Well,
so, and he can't even remember what the fuck is going on.
It's only 40 minutes, man. It's not that long.
No, it's not 40 fucking minutes. It's 39 minutes and 70. I'm sorry, 39 minutes. Wait, 39 something. 39:22 or something. I don't remember.
Well, you better strap in, because the next one's going to be an hour and 4 minutes.
Okay, I don't know about that, but listen, ONKOS. Everybody, ONKOS. Right? Which doesn't make any sense except for fucking Robert Woods LaDue and me. If you don't know what ONKOS means, we're going to look. Listen. Okay? He made it symmetrical. Because a lot of death metal bands, and Bob, is that why you made it symmetrical? Is that why you made ONKOS symmetrical?
The logo?
Yeah. Because, the logo. Because,
so, again, that's Devin Smith's work. Like, he... And honestly, I think when we were talking about that logo, because he was doing something with metal logos at that time.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Do you want to make a logo for this band?" And he said yes. And then he did something that was kind of, I forget what it was, kind of like more like a a 6 feet under type of logo, or like it was just like a totally different vibe. And then I was like, man, you could really like think about this in another way. And I forget what I told him, honestly. I could go back and look that up, but that whatever he came up with was like, that was the logo. And I was like, okay, I saw it immediately and like, okay, yeah, like this is good. Like,
yeah, because because the ONKOS logo is definitely a death metal logo, because when you look at it, it's hyper symmetrical.
Yeah. Yes.
But
not
there,
quite.
yeah,
Not 100%.
and then there are also themes of the octopus, which makes me think, okay, Hail Hydra. Like he made it super symmetrical, but he also made it to be themed to something that's popular. So he has a great aesthetic. Like he knows how to match things with popularity as well as originality. And I looked at it and I'm just like, holy shit. Like,
dude, you should check out Devin Smith's stuff. Like he was I think the second or third guest on our podcast. He's a prolific everything, prolific writer.
Yes, I've listened.
Prolific designer.
I know. Yeah.
He's like his stuff. He's really a hyper intelligent person. I couldn't recommend it. Go check out devinsmith.work. And it's like, there's days of, check out his writings. His writings are incredible.
So, Bob.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think about yourself? Are you a moron? Like, what are you retarded? What's going on with you, man? Like,
I don't.
Because how am I? Listen. What year did we first meet? Do you remember that? You and me. What year?
2002, 3.
Okay.
Probably.
And
right?
Are you? Well, yeah. It was 2002.
You left. When did you move to LA? Because you had left before I.
It was the end of 2002. I met you in 2002, and I left LA at the end of 2002. So.
Yeah.
So, Bob, why should anybody listen to you? Like what? Besides the fact that you're a genius, like you're a musical genius, but because that's when I left. For real, I left Miami very shortly after I met you.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I'm like, oh, here's a musical genius. We're gonna make some death metal songs together. I left and then I was in Los Angeles and we did that song Play My. Well, I called it Play My Game.
Yeah.
And I sent it back to you. And then we talked about marijuana and whatever in the song. And then,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's I don't know why anyone should listen to me. Maybe
you should listen to because you're fucking amazing. But yeah.
If I had to sell myself on a podcast, I would say perhaps my particular confluence of influences, kind of would create, the music that I am creating, and that might appeal to people.
Did you just use the word confluence?
Yeah, I might have used that incorrectly, to be honest.
No, that's actually pretty badass, because I was telling my brother earlier I used the word confluence. No, confluence is absolutely correct. It just means
just things coming together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bob, why do you continue making music? Why? Why do you do it? What's your point? What are you doing? What's your point? Why is this happening?
It's an addiction, man. No, it's it's it really comes down to, I think, scratching a creative itch.
Okay, but let me ask you another question. So now you're doing music, and so I've been watching you, and I'm like looking at the music, and I'm like, holy shit, this motherfucker is now you're playing a bunch of African music, which is interesting enough. Listen, Bob, I don't know why you're doing it, because a lot of people are into it, but there's a lot of people who are turned off by by authentic African music.
Well, it's Afro-Cuban music, so...
Yeah, I get that, but still, here's my point. A lot of people look at what you're doing and they're like, why is he doing this? And so why are you doing this, Bob? Why?
Like the
It's not popular. It's not popular. Like a lot of people. It's amazing. Sure. It's a fucking amazing, because you're like on 10 screens and you're playing fucking all these instruments
for like 20 minutes, right? Yeah.
So why?
I mean, that is something. There was I mentioned this earlier. There are these moments that in your life where you just, something clicks, like the light turns on and you're like, oh, and like from then on the light is on. There was a moment for me like that with that stuff, and I went to something called a wheel. So when I first moved to Oakland, I started playing with people, studying with different people, and I started studying with Sandy Perez, and he I was like, talk about geniuses, man. This guy's a for real genius. Like he, I don't know. You can just tell, like you can see him play, and you're just like, God, something real else is going on with this person. Like he was like a legitimate prodigy when he was young,
Yeah, and then you go on. And yeah, and then you play, and then it's like, okay, this dude is supremely talented, and you're playing a bunch, bro. Hold on for a second. This is not what we're talking about, okay?
Well, hold on. Let me finish the story real quick.
Yeah, please. Go.
Okay, so I started taking private lessons with him because I knew that he was different, and I was taking just like one-on-one lessons, and like I was like, I'll learn how to play Congo with him, and like on the first, I paid him like what, $50 for like an hour lesson or something like this.
Wow,
and so he's teaching me congos or something,
and
then like at the end of the lesson, he's like, do you like bata? Or like he's like, can you play bata or something like this? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never heard it. Or don't know what you're talking about. And so he like calls his son over, and then we were playing bata for like the next 3 hours or something. Wow. And then like I think pretty much every lesson after that was just bata, like And so this is a particular genre of religious music in Cuba.
Wow.
That it comes from Nigeria, so there is Yoruban.
Yes.
It's a Yoruban culture influence, and so
I see.
There are bata in Nigeria as well, but it's the modern iteration is a little different in both places. So I just got into it and the language of that music is it has something that you will not find in any other kind of music. And
So it's a very original language.
yeah, I mean, I mean, the history of the music in Cuba is a little bit confusing, and I'm not sure I have a good grasp on it.
None of us do, Bob. None of us do.
Yeah, but there's something that's unique to the Cuban way of doing it that just has taken on its own life, and the popular music of Cuba, I think, reflects the language you can find in the religious music.
Yeah.
So, like, you can see the glimmer of it there, and that's, I think, what makes it so interesting. But I don't know. It's just something that, like, certain people get into that music and that stuff, and it's like they just go. It just pulls you in, man. It takes you all the way in, and if I had to pick one thing that I would do for the rest of my life, like one style of music, and just play it, I would play bata, like just bata.
Really?
Yeah, because it really is. It's fulfilling on a lot of levels.
I feel like it's very pure to you.
Well, there's a lot of aspects of community to it, and like when I was playing a lot in the Bay Area, there was just like. So
you like that aspect of community?
Yeah, there's a community of drummers that is really strong in the Bay Area in particular.
Oh, see, I pegged you again. I knew you're a drummer, Bob. You're a drummer.
Well, yeah.
You're a percussionist.
Yeah, I mean, drummer, percussionist, sure.
But I think more percussionist than anything else. I think you're like beating on things. Like, for real. No, for real. I know it sounds weird, but Bob, your rhythm is impeccable.
I've got my things that I need to work on. I'm not impeccable. I'm not
you know what? Let's shut the fuck up on that. Your rhythm is impeccable. Like,
no, man. Like you are giving me too much credit at this point.
No, I'm not. No, actually, I'm not. Listen, Bob, I'm not. I'm sorry. I have to cut you off plenty times.
All right.
I am not giving you too much credit. You probably are the best percussionist, drummer, person who beats skins for a living.
There's so many much better drummers than I.
Yeah, and where are they? Give me one name.
Well,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, there you go. Done. You can't do it.
Dude,
you failed.
There's like, I have my own particular blend of skills that I can offer that are probably different from a lot of people, but in terms of just straight drumming ability, there's so many much better drummers than me.
All right, yeah, and you know what? We're going to defer to them later on tonight. Later on tonight, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about the best drummers in the world. But number one is going to be Robert Woods LaDue. And he's probably going to talk about some other people who might be good drummers, but fuck them all. All right, Bob. Why are you so humble? What is wrong with you? Who made you humble pie? Like why do
you gotta be humble, man.
Why do you do this, Bob?
Way to be.
Bob, dude, listen. I have never in my life. I've pretended to be because I'm cool. I'm a cool guy. I'm fucking totally cool. I am. I'm super fucking cool. Like, I'm fucking super cool. Like, people are like, yo, Hakeem, that's my nigga. Like, Hakeem, yeah, he cool. Right, but, okay, but we want to talk about real fucking musicians. We're talking about Robert Woods LaDue. Like, the people, Hakeem, who influenced you to make this song, that's made everybody in the world change their panties. Robert Woods LaDue. By the way, you might not know, but we did this death metal song together called, Play My Game. Or we did this song together, and it was called Circles. And in that song, he said, don't share your needles or your diseases. Bob, nobody's talking about that. Nobody, how are you possibly saying, you're joking? Thank you. I appreciate your sense of humor. I really do. Bob, I really appreciate your sense of humor. But you're like, don't share your needles or your diseases. Are you sure that that's not something that everybody should learn? Because you just taught a lesson. To everybody should know. Bob, everybody should fucking understand that that's a truth of reality. Don't share your needles or your disease. Okay? Like, it's just like a truism. Like, why would you not think that that's okay? If somebody says, no, dog, Bob is wrong. We should share needles and we should share diseases. Who the fuck says that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Who's going to be like, yeah, you know what, Bob, he said this shit, but you know what? Let me give you a disease. No, that's actually not the way we live our lives. We're not sharing diseases, and we're also not going to do that with needles. So let's just hold off for a few minutes.
Hold off on that.
Let's just hold off for a second. So you gave some sage advice in a hilarious song, which you allowed me to fucking put vocals on. Don't share your needles. Or I'm just fucking growling this shit out. And I'm like, holy shit. But everything else is cool. Bob, for real. Stop. Don't talk. Please. Let's not pretend that what you said is not true. You said, but everything else is cool. But everything else is cool. Why would you say...
I think you're reading too much into it.
I am. I'm reading way too much into it. Why would you say that? Like, who? Bob, I'm infatuated or like just totally into, like I'm a fanboy, what you said, but everything else is cool. Of course we're not supposed to share needles. Who the fuck would do that? You can get AIDS. You can get AIDS from sharing needles. And you can get diseases.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but everything else is cool. Because the song is called... Bob, shut the fuck up for a second. The song is called Sharing. Sharing. Everything else is cool. Everything. And I thought about it and I was like, okay, we can't share needles. That's right. That's okay. That's right. No sharing needles. We're just not going to do that. Or diseases. Yep. Nope. We're not going to share diseases. But everything else. That means batteries, Band-Aids. I don't know. Cookies. We can share cookies. Whatever else.
Good stuff.
Everything else is cool. And so I was just like, all right, damn. Okay. So Bob, why would you make a song like that? Why? Who told you that was okay? Like, why? Why would you?
Who told me?
Yeah, no, seriously. Or in what part of your brain that was okay? Like, why would you? Where did that come from? No, seriously, where does that come from, bro? Where does that come from?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was listening to a lot of Frank Zappa, a lot of Cephalic Carnage. You put those two together and, yeah, just try to make some silly, goofy metal.
So, Frank Zappa and Cephalic Carnage.
Yeah, amongst other things.
No.
A lot of Mr. Bungle.
Oh, shit, dude. Mr. Bungle is definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah. I think I was listening to a lot of Disco Volante, that album.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Man,
You know?
Bob, you're one of the most influential artists that I've ever known, and I appreciate you, and I can't figure out why some of the things that you've said make any sense to me, but you've been a pretty cool dude, and I appreciate what's happening. So, do you have any new music coming out?
Well, yeah. So there's an ONKOS CD. The second ONKOS CD is coming out on I Voidinger Records this year. Hopefully I don't have a release date yet though.
So number 2 ONKOS?
Yeah.
Now
So
ONKOS is this metal?
I mean, it's like metal. It's got acoustic guitars.
Bob, what's your favorite music? Do you like metal or what? What's happening here? I'm just trying to figure it out because when I met you, we did a bunch of metal together. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you into? Like, what's your music genre? So let's forget about what's coming out. Let's forget about popularity. Let's forget about everything else. I know that I met you in the heavy metal genre.
Yeah.
But you just mentioned ONKOS again, and you just mentioned that you have another album coming out. So this is 2022, right?
Here we are.
Are we both in this year? Right?
Yeah.
So, ONKOS, what the fuck? What is happening? What is the thing? What do you want people to hear? Tell me, what's happening? I just want to know. I really want to know. ONKOS, is that like a thing that you're doing with ONKOS?
Yeah, so that album, which has been ready to be released for a while now, kind of represents. So let me explain ONKOS briefly.
Please do.
So it was a project. The first album is just me, overdubbing all the instruments.
Which you can do fucking amazingly.
But so it's. If you listen to it, you'll notice right away there's no distorted guitars and no drum set. It's instead a collection of Shekere and acoustic guitars, and they're synthesizers, and the music's kind of strange. But it's got normal sort of like growl death metal vocals for the majority of it. The whole idea that I wanted to play that music live, and so I did at least a couple times with an extremely large band, and I had to adapt the arrangement to sort of be reasonable for a live band, and so the live band consisted of, there was like 5 or 6 percussionists, and there was a person playing cello.
Wow.
Nalco was playing cello.
Okay.
We had one person playing acoustic guitar and bass, and then we had synthesizers, and then there was I think I had 3 horn players or 2 horn players at least.
What? Really?
So there was like a horn section, and then
you had wait, Bob. You had a horn section?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So that ensemble, and I started like thinking about, oh man, there are things about it, like if I changed the music, I could leverage the ensemble so much better. So like I was writing new music to sort of fit this particular ensemble for this band. But then COVID hit, and then I moved, and then like, you know, I couldn't, like, the band is functionally gone because.
So wait, where were you, and then where did you move to?
I was in the Bay Area.
Okay.
When all this happened,
right,
so then I moved to Bakersfield, which is about 5 hours away.
Okay, and that's where. Okay, Bakersfield. Okay, that's where you're now. Okay,
so it's closer to LA.
Yeah.
Right. And,
I know Bakersfield.
And so, but that I did. You know, I worked really hard on getting that recording together, and I features at least some of the musicians that were in that band, in the live band.
Yeah.
And it's music in a style, like I even built, there was a set of 3 drums that I built specifically for the band to play live.
Really? Okay, that's interesting because that's a lot of building.
Yeah, that was a lot of work. And so
because building drums, I mean, there's so many parts you have to play as a solo drummer. So I get it. I got you.
Yeah, it was more work. I probably won't do that again. But anyway, that's kind of what the second album is representing, is this live band that has probably seen its final days. But you know, maybe we'll get an opportunity I'll get something together like that again in the future. But for now, we at least have the recording that's going to come out sometime.
Drum set is one of the most difficult parts to play. Like playing a drum set. Like how do you do that, man?
Well, it takes practice. But
you've got fills, you've got snare, you've got bass. Okay, great. Yeah, it takes practice. I get that. Who's your favorite drummer as far as somebody who plays drum set? Do you have one or no?
I have so many favorite drummers. Morgan Egrin is top of mind. Flo Mornier is top of mind. So Morgan Egrin, Thomas Hawk from Meshuggah.
Okay, gotcha.
Flo Mornier plays with Cryptopsy.
Yeah, but he hasn't always played with Cryptopsy. Like
he plays in a couple other bands.
Yeah.
But that's definitely his main group.
Yeah. He's more like a jazz drummer. Like, I don't understand where he's coming from sometimes.
His, man, like, if I could play a blast beat that sounded like the way that he does it, I would probably just sit around and do that all day, because I could just listen to that.
Yeah, but he's playing blast beats, but he's also playing in a way that it's very relaxed, because it's just behind what you think a snare hit is supposed to be. It's a little bit off. And I don't know how.
Well, that's one of the things that I really like about Cryptopsy, at least a lot of newer modern death metal is too much recorded to a click and then quantized.
Okay, well, what you're talking about is that it's overproduced. And that's what I'm talking about. Is that when he plays, it's a little bit off. It's like off. It's off in a way that's like.
I wouldn't say it like that. I wouldn't say that it's off. I would say that he plays with feel, and the band has a fluctuating tempo, and that's a good quality to have.
No, I think it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good quality. I just think that the way he plays is just like, what? It makes me question what's happening. That's all. Like it's not bad. It just makes me. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. What about Thomas Hawk or whatever? Thomas Hawk?
I'm not sure who. No.
The drummer from Meshuggah.
Oh, okay. So now you're talking about something completely different. Okay, so this is the original. All right, like I've been listening to Meshuggah since the old school days of when there was an album. I don't know if you know about this, but there's an album called a UHF VHF. So there's an album.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And it was a compilation. So it was a compilation of a bunch of bands. And Meshuggah was on this UHF VHF album. And it was the most penetrating death metal, hardcore. It was the first time that anybody ever did anything like what Meshuggah was doing. And they didn't give a fuck. And you know what was happening? The singer of Meshuggah, he said to me, he's like, listen. He said, I feel really insecure.
You spoke with the singer of Meshuggah?
Yes.
With Jens Kidman or whatever?
Listen. This is what he said. He said, I feel really insecure. I said, why? He said, I'm losing my hair. I said, well, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know how to deal with this. And all I had to say was, I had no idea what to say. I said, Bruce Willis and Jason Statham. I just said that because I was being racist, and he's a white guy. And the only two white people I knew of who were balding and were doing it right were Jason Statham and Bruce Willis. And he looked at me and he said, okay. And that was it. That's all he said. He said, okay.
Wait, can we back up?
Yeah, let's just back up.
Do you know him? Under what circumstance do you know him?
I don't know him as a friend. I just know that we were playing a show together. And he was really insecure. It was in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, it was in Fort Lauderdale. And he says, I'm losing my hair. And I looked at him and I was like, thinking to myself, I don't care. I was just thinking,
yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck cares? I was like, why are you here, bro? I was like, I thought I was, like, you're one of my heroes. Why are you talking to me like you're about to cry? Like, I'm sorry. Listen, hey, Bob.
Yeah.
We're not talking about him like he's, all I'm saying is that,
dude, he's a legend, man. Those guys are.
Listen, I didn't know why he was asking me the questions he was asking me. And I didn't know that people in the world were so vulnerable the way that they were. And I didn't understand that people were confused about losing their hair. Like, I didn't understand that was like a thing that guys had a problem with.
I'm sure, I consider myself lucky to not be...
Still have hair?
I still have a pretty full head of hair.
Yeah, but why are dudes so upset about that? Like, he was. Well,
I can imagine feeling insecure about that. It's something you can't really control.
Okay, but do you understand where I'm coming from? I was just like, he's just. And I don't know.
Of course. If you're talking to freaking, when this had to have been in the 90s, right?
It was actually 1994. And I'm just like, why are you asking me this question? Like, I was confused. I was completely confused. I'm just like, why are you saying what you're saying to me?
When did you start losing your hair?
Same year, 2004. I was in a gym called Bodies in Motion, Encino. And one of my clients, she was 17. I remember she was 17 years old. And she was like, hey, what's going on with your head? or something like that. And I just remember being like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I don't remember what she said, but I do remember this. Because here's what I remember. I remember trying to defend myself, which was really embarrassing. This is what made it embarrassing and what made me remember that I was losing my hair. So, she's like, hey, blah, 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 this and this. And I said, no, it's just the angle of the sunlight hitting my head this way. Because I didn't know that I was actually losing my hair. Because I cut my hair off because my boss at the time that I worked for in the security company said, you have to cut off your mohawk. Because I had a mohawk.
That's right.
Which is the exact opposite. You remember my mohawk, right?
I do now. I had forgotten that, though.
But, Bob, you remember that when you met me, I had a strip of hair on the top of my head. And it was these curly things that I twisted.
No, I forgot. You're reminding me now. That is, you did have a mohawk. It's true.
It's fucking weird, right? So then, I had to cut my hair off because of my boss of this security company. But then I cut it all off. I quit the security company. Now I'm in California. I'm working for this company called Bodies in Motion. And the 17-year-old girl is like, hey, you're going bald. I said, no, I'm not. It's just, my hair's not, it's just the light. That's what I thought. I really thought it was just a light. I was not being an emasculated guy. Like, I wasn't one of those people who's like, my hair's not growing back and so I'm so insecure and I'm going to try to pretend like it's not. No, I actually thought that she was wrong. I thought she was wrong.
Yeah.
Your hair's, no, it's not growing back. She's like 17 years old. And then I'm like, okay. I went home. I looked at my hair. And then I said to myself, holy shit, Michelle is right. She's right. I'm fucking going bald. And that was it. And then from then on, I never tried to cut it off anymore. But that was the first time that I learned about it. So.
Yeah, but even you could imagine how that could be hard for a lot of guys, right?
No.
Like, I'm sure. Yeah, it's like this is something that like you have to be particularly self-centered and strong-willed to like really not be insecure about it.
But I'm not. Like, I just don't care. But yes, I can understand how a lot of guys would be insecure about that. Yeah, so yes. So I guess yes, I could. But I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, this is what's happening. And here we go. Just like I look at you and I'm like, okay, there's Bob. He's a master of what he does, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because why the fuck, Bob, why on earth are you so confident about who you are? Like, who taught you to just be okay with whatever? Like, why? Like, why are you so cool?
That's a good question. And I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I mean, I definitely am lucky in terms of a lot of, my parents and like some of my teachers, my teachers in high school, that really gave me, I guess, the right amount of negative feedback and positive reinforcement, I guess. I don't know, man. That's a really hard question to answer. Why am I sure of myself in terms of, why am I not insecure or something? It's a hard question to answer.
Well, don't answer it. Anyway, you're one of the best people I know, and we've been talking for over 3 hours, so let's. Actually, it's not. Maybe it's like 2 hours. It's almost 3 hours.
It's
Bob,
almost 3, man.
yeah, I love you.
You're getting into my podcast territory now.
Exactly. That's actually what I was trying to do. And I appreciate you, man, dude. You're so. Right now, let me look at the time. Yeah, it's like 12 o'clock, 12 something in the morning. I have to teach.
Oh, that's right. You're on the East Coast.
Yeah, I have to teach a class. At like 5:15 in the morning, and I'm definitely gonna do that. But dude, man, Bob, you have no idea, bro. Like, you're one of my superheroes, man. I'm so fucking like appreciative that I get to talk to you. Like, you have no idea.
Man, I appreciate getting to talk to you as well.
Yeah, but you have no idea. Like, I've been sharing the legend of Bob for years. For years.
Legend.
Now, listen. You've looked back at some of my podcasts where I've talked about you, and you know that I've said, "Yo, Bob is shit." You've heard it, right? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
I've never
seen the evidence.
Yeah, and I've never once ever said, "Yo, Bob is a fucking garbage." No, I've been like, "Yo, this guy."
That would be funny, man.
Bob is a fucking Bob. Now you know what? Bob is a fucking asshole. You know, he thinks he can play the guitar. He's a fucking idiot. He's, you know, I don't know what this guy. I don't know what's wrong with him, but you know, he sucks a dick or two. No, I've never said that. I've always been like, yo, Bob is the shit. Like, I just, cause you're fucking awesome. And you introduced me to a whole new world of music that I've never understood that existed. And like, cause I've always been one of these people who's just been like an improvisational musician, and you come in and you're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna improvise, but we're also gonna make some clearly
specific choices.
Yeah, we're going to make some clearly specific choices about music. And then we made songs. And I'm just like, holy shit, like I don't know how to handle this, but this guy. So, I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you, and I appreciate, what we've done. And Bob, what I want to do is I want to make some more music with you. I hope that we can figure out some more songs.
Can I send you some of these silly tracks that I've made from these AI-generated album covers?
Yeah, you said that earlier, like fucking 2 hours ago. Yes, send them to me. Send them to me. You already said that. I'm gonna. Yes, hell yeah. Please do, Bob. Send me, and I'm gonna put my vocals on them, and people are gonna love them all over the world. I'm pretty sure they're gonna love them.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think they are, because you said this earlier, and you know what? Yes, please, thank you, Bob. Send them. We're gonna amaze people. People are gonna be like, what? That's their first. That's their first reaction. What did I just hear? Yeah. So yes, please send them. Dude, you're the best. I totally appreciate you. What are you gonna do next? So before we close out, what are you what are you doing? Like, do you have a musical Listen, Jody, your daughter, is one of the most beautiful humans I've ever seen. I love her already. I love that.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I love that she's here. What's your wife's name? Who's your wife?
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah, also a beautiful human, which I don't understand what the hell is going on. Like, she loves you, and that's incredible, dude. What the fuck is happening in your life? How are you a superhero, right? Like, I don't get that. Like, I'm kind of envious. And then And then, so what are you going to do next? What's Robert Woods LaDue, who in my mind is a superhero, what are you going to do next?
Well, I mean, aside from all the things that I've already mentioned, I've got a family, and so
You do.
yeah, so that is now my priority in life, is to, support my family, and that's really what's next for the time being, I guess. In the big picture question, which is I assume is what you're asking.
Yeah, that's that's exactly what I'm asking.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I am musically exploring Bakersfield. There's a lot going on here. I'm practicing jazz piano right now, which is really difficult. I don't know.
Jazz piano.
Yeah. We got the podcast going still, so we're still doing that.
Wait a minute, you're practicing jazz piano?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to play jazz on piano. It's hard. It's very difficult.
What's difficult about it?
Well, I mean, I didn't, I took some piano lessons when I was very young, but I haven't really ever kept up piano playing. And when it comes to jazz in particular, like playing like a chordal instrument in jazz is, there's just a lot to learn. There's just a lot to learn.
So when you say a chordal instrument, meaning you have to play multiple
like
notes.
Piano or guitar or something, something like, or even bass, like something where you would be. I mean, obviously, I don't play any wind instruments or whatever, but
Wait. You don't play any wind instruments? Since when, Bob?
I mean,
Bob,
it's like,
hold on, because this brings up a whole new fucking subject for me. Since when do you not play wind instruments? Because I thought, and I could be wrong, I thought you at least played saxophone. No?
No, I don't play saxophone.
God damn, I'm so fucked up. All right.
I like to work with saxophone players a lot, though. So that one song that we did, with the circle, what you call circles.
Yeah.
That features, if I'm not mistaken, I'm like having a hard time remembering that song, but I think that has.
I hope you have a hard time remembering the song. It's fucking old. It's a long time ago.
It's pretty old. I haven't thought about it though recently, and it's but yeah, that features I think Paul Roth on saxophone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's he doing these days?
I think he's in Germany or Italy. He's in Europe for sure.
Okay.
Or France maybe even.
Right.
I don't know where he is, but
he's doing something. Something with music.
He came by the Bay Area God, it was maybe 7 years ago or so.
Okay.
And just stayed at my house for a little while. But went back to Europe almost immediately.
Bob.
Yeah.
Dude. And so, what do you think? So, let's just answer this question. What do you think, as far as music goes, is the best? Who do you think? It doesn't have to be a specific person. What's the best music to you?
I mean, there's really no point in answering that question directly because there's so many things that are great for different reasons.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I don't I'm not gonna like settle on one genre or
But what do you
whatever.
like to play the most? Because for the last couple of months, I've seen you playing a lot of African music, and I like it, but I want to know why.
You want to know why what though? Why I like it?
No, why you're playing so much African music? It's just crazy. Like I'm just like, what the fuck is happening with Bob? Like he's playing a bunch of African. That's when I look at it, I'm like, okay, this music is definitively African. And so I just want to know what the fuck, why?
Yeah, it's something that, dude, I studied it. It's like a study for me, like a practice. It's the type of thing where I'll be walking around the house, like doing whatever, and I'll be thinking about that music, like that repertoire, and like just like being like, oh, like this song sequence could go like this, and like working out all these things in my head. I'm that obsessed with figuring out how to play that music.
Right, and that's what I'm looking at, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, the music is amazing, but why is Bob playing it? That's all I want to know. I'm like, why though? Why?
I think that the musical intricacies of that music it's difficult to summarize how much is really going on with that stuff, and like particularly when it's in its proper setting, like which is a religious ceremony. There's so many.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you're right. But I wouldn't consider it religious. It's more spiritual than religious, because those people are not really religious.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by that, but.
Oh, you're right.
But sure, yeah,
It's based on candomblé, right? Like it's
well,
African Catholicism in a way.
That is another branch of the same tree. There's a CD by do you know Mike Spyro? Do you know who that is?
No, please explain to me.
He's a bit of he's like one of the only people that I know of that's an expert in both candomblé and regla de ocha, which is the religion in Cuba. And he put out a CD where he'll be like have like people playing the Cuban rhythm on the drums and have the Brazilian people sing a song for the given orisha, that the god or goddess that is associated with that rhythm, and they go back and forth, and the Cuban people sing a song that have the Brazilian rhythm underneath, and kind of connecting the dots between those two diasporas.
Got it.
That
yes.
Which are unbelievably strong. Like, there's a couple of I played in a band actually with this guy, Robert Lopez, and we were both playing congas. We were sitting next to one another.
Really?
But he knew about candomblé, and I was studying,
So the two of you were playing congas.
Yeah, it was for this kind of like funky jazz band, but we would sit there and like talk about, like, be like, okay, like, what do you play, like, for this orisha, what song do you play, or like, what do you play, what rhythm do you play for this song, whatever, and like talk about it back and forth. And there's like so many, like, he'll play something and be like, okay, like, I can understand why that is the rhythm that you would play. Like, you can see the relationships in everything, and it's pretty amazing, honestly.
But and while you were doing that, did you enjoy it? Were you feeling good?
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's I guess that the dopamine rush was there. That's yeah, for sure.
Man, dude, you're so accomplished as a musician. I can't figure out why. I've never misunderstood you. I've always looked up to you, and dude, you people probably just don't get where you're coming from, but so Bob, you shouldn't, I think, in a certain way, be revered as like a superhero, but I kind of think of you that way. Like, what's it like to just be so good at being a musician? Like, I don't get that. What's it like just being so good at just being so musically talented? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, I don't understand. Like, how are you so amazing at being a musician? And then just be like, yeah, I'm just cool. Yeah, I'm just fucking cool. I'm just Bob. I'm just, yeah. Like, how do you just accept that you're so amazing? For people to me, like me, I'm just like, this is a fucking superhero. Like, you're fucking for real.
Well, I have little choice but to accept, right? Because that's what you're saying. But I think one thing to keep in mind is that like no matter how good you are, like let's say there's a list of musicians and someone's at the top of the list and someone's at the bottom of the list, and like you're in there somewhere. Like that hierarchy just simply doesn't matter because it doesn't give you, I mean, I guess it can give you things, but what you're really looking for is happiness. And
yeah.
So if you can find that from from your practice. So my practice is music. I find fulfillment and joy by the things that I do. That's, I think, what you should be looking for. And I think, you have to work to maintain, you have to work to always strive to improve yourself.
Yeah.
And there's many ways to do that. It doesn't just mean you have to sit in a practice room.
Mm-hmm.
You can be out in the world playing with other people.
Totally right.
Yeah, it's like I think thinking about yourself or even other people on a scale of like who's better than the other person is not a healthy way to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yes, of course. And then what else happens from there? Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, but taking inspiration, you can always take inspiration from people, like there's people that inspire me. I wouldn't do what I do if I wasn't inspired by other people. Like,
right.
I don't create things out of a void. I'm putting together ideas that are created by other people,
Right. So for example, give me just one person or one entity that you're inspired by. Just one. Because I hear what you're saying. And
yeah, I mean, like, yeah. It's just to, list influences of mine. It's like Meshuggah, Radiohead,
God. Damn. Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
Damn, yeah, Meshuggah, Radiohead, and Jimi Hendrix. Yes. Holy shit.
I could just literally go on forever. But
of course, yeah.
Meshuggah,
of course, I'm totally into that because I'm a metalhead. But yeah, Meshuggah has done some. Like, how the fuck do you explain what's happening there? But yeah, I appreciate that.
And I would, if I have one sort of like, I forget what you call it, like lofty goal for for my podcast,
mm-hmm.
It's to interview Frederick Thorndahl of Michigan.
Well, listen, your podcast is amazing. I think you guys have done a great job. And the thing is that you
Bob, I don't know. I don't understand how you do what you do in your podcast, but you're so, you're exactly yourself, and you're so chill.
I appreciate you listening, man. Like, I'm actually curious. You said you've been doing the podcast for like 2 years. Your podcast?
No, my podcast has been going on since at least 2015.
Oh, right. But
so
you have the rebranding or whatever has been like 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it's so funny. Like, literally, there's nothing in this world, man, that doesn't take time and effort and practice. Like I'm just noticing, just having done the podcast we're coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
So like, like the idea of, just the mechanics of navigating a conversation with someone and trying to like really pick their brain in the right way to make it interesting is like, it's such a skill. It's such and like the more I do it, the more I appreciate those people that are really good at it.
I think you have that skill. Like, for example, Robert Ewing.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing podcasts and you're like, okay, we're just gonna do a Bandcamp recommendation with Rob Ewing, and I was just like, but hold on for a second, let's just slow down, and then you go into this whole thing, and you guys are talking, and then it just turns into one of the most amazing conversations, and nobody can keep up with you guys. Who can keep up with?
Well, I like to think that we're not leaving our guests in the dust.
Yeah, but nobody can keep up with you. You start talking, and you're like, well, and then this, and then Rob is like, okay, but, however, and I'm listening. I'm like,
Rob's great.
Yeah, and I'm like, how can I?
That guy's like a serious educator, man. He can really explain things in a way that it's just like super clear and like to the point. He's really tremendous he's got such a skill at that.
So what I'm saying, yes, is that the guy is on another level. One of the last, you guys did a very recent podcast together. I mean, it wasn't the most recent. I think it was.
No.
It was last year, like I think the end of the year, because I listened to it and it was like December. Like, it was like November or December.
Yeah.
Of last year. Yeah, something like that. And I just don't get how do you guys connect, and then,
Well, we're friends with Rob, so like we have rapport already.
Okay.
Built in to that, like, because we would play, like, Mark and myself and Rob would play in each other's bands all the time, so it's.
Okay, so you've played together in bands, so I get that, because you guys talked about that a little bit. But the thing is that you guys didn't get really into that. You didn't get into the fact that you guys, made music together, which I think is one of the coolest things about.
There's 2 episodes with Rob, actually. There's one where we talk about his music, and then there's one where we're just talking about, where we're just like recommending random albums that we like.
Okay.
So like there is one where we get more into like what Rob does in the Bay Area. I mean, we don't really talk too much about what we do on the podcast because we're trying to focus on the guest,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got that. And so, where did you guys meet each other? Like, where did you guys meet?
Rob and I, or Mark? Or
Rob.
Robert was God, how did I meet Rob? I mean, I think I
This
literally.
dude is a crazy cat. Like, he's just so.
he's cool, man. I think I don't remember where I met Rob initially, but like very very early on, I was having Rob play in my band, and he was always super willing to do so. He's very generous about that, and like doing. He was one of the like. He was definitely like one of like. If I ever needed like a horn player for anything, I would call Rob first, and yeah, he was always down if he could make it, you know.
Well, Bob, you've definitely picked the most interesting musicians that I've ever heard in the world, and you've definitely done some of the greatest things. And I just want to know. I want to ask one question. What do you plan to do on the future? Like, what's your future? What do you want to do? Not only just 5 years from now, but for real, people ask this question all the time, and it sounds dorky. It sounds cliche, but what I do want to know is what do you want to do 5 years from now? Like, what do you really want to be doing?
You know, I don't really do so good with this long-term planning thing.
Okay.
There are things that like that I know might take that long to accomplish.
Yeah.
But I have to want to do them in the short term, or else I just simply I'll fall off the wagon in terms of goals. Like just as a random example, like practicing jazz piano. I told you I was practicing jazz piano.
Yeah.
If I really wanted to be a serious jazz piano player, I would have to have a 20-year plan or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, it's I don't. If I could snap my fingers and become a serious jazz piano player, I would. But that, I know what it. I understand what it would take.
Yeah,
what kind of work it would take for me to get there.
Yeah, so you
and how
get
long it would take.
You get the effort.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I can't really say oh, I want to be in 5 years. I want to be this. I just feel then maybe if I practice hard enough, I can play this song, at a jazz jam or something like that. It's I'm better with a short term goal.
Totally. Yeah, I understand it completely.
And maybe I'll not play jazz piano for that long,
but at least you can figure out that perspective.
It doesn't mean that effort is wasted or is worth nothing.
Right. So you can at least appreciate it.
Yeah.
Damn, Bob. Man. I just don't get
I would say maybe the one exception to that is financial goals. It's I gotta pay this loan off.
Okay. So financial goals, why? Because the world that we live in is...
You can't escape that shit. You gotta pay your loans.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. We need to figure out our shit, but
you
at the
pay
same...
your credit card, pay this. Yep.
But at the same time... Yeah.
I think that's the only exception to long-term goals, which I'm not going to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, because it's extremely difficult, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't make themselves available, or talk about their very vulnerable parts in podcasts. Like you said, you're not going to talk about it because it's very difficult.
Well, that's not the only reason, but
no, but it's also because of the fact that it's extremely prohibited. Like it's not just that you can't talk about it. The problem is that you're not allowed to talk about it because it's taboo.
it's not just that it. Well, okay, maybe it's taboo, but that's really not the reason.
Okay.
I mean, things can be taboo. Honestly, I don't really care about taboos at all. I think they're a waste of everyone's time. But there are certain things I wouldn't. There are things that I would not want to talk on a podcast just because I want to keep them for myself.
Okay.
Some things you keep for yourself.
Yes, you're right about that. No, you're totally right. I totally accept that.
Yeah. Do you have a 5-year plan?
I do. My 5-year plan is that no matter what happens, I eventually want to end up going back to Florida and California. So
both.
Yeah, I love Florida, but I also love California. So I'm definitely going to go back to California in some way, shape, or another. And I hope that you are going to be there, Bob. I hope you're going to be in California.
Probably, man. I am probably going to be here.
I really love California. It's a totally cool place for me to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's part of my plan. Also, I can see where you're coming from, and I want to ask a question. Why are you still in California?
It's I'm not totally opposed to leaving California, but I've just found my way here. I feel like if maybe part of that is it's interesting. When I moved, you remember? Did you know Rajan and Richard and them?
Yes, but only briefly. I didn't know them. I didn't get in depth.
Yeah, I mean, we all moved. Rajan and Richard and Andy and myself moved to that place in Glendale, and those guys eventually all left California and went back to various places where they were from, or back to Miami or whatever.
Yeah, I got
and
that.
I don't know. I just kind of took a different path, stayed in California. That was just the way for me. I went to school. That helped a lot because
yes, I'm sure. Yeah, of course it did.
Just going to school, you make a bunch of connections.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to just move to a city, especially when you're young.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess really
it is very hard, especially when you're young. You're right about that.
To move to a city and really find a community there.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yes, it
unless
is.
Unless you're involved with something that inherently gives that to you, like a church or something, it's hard.
Yes, it is. Supremely difficult. And you're right about it being hard.
But hey, man, it is getting on in the night for you here.
Well,
should
brother,
probably
let's
wrap
get
this
out.
up.
Let's get the fuck out of here, man. Dude, look, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm totally done.
Yeah.
Bob, I appreciate you. I'm thankful that we got to connect tonight. And oh shit, what the hell was that? Dude, I appreciate you. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's close this up. I'm looking at the time. It's over 3 hours. Dude, how the hell do you even do that? What is wrong with you?
Time flies, man.
You have so much enthusiasm. Everybody, Robert Woods LaDue has been my guest and my friend for many years. I appreciate all of you. Bob, thank you for hanging out with me for all this time.
Yeah, man.
And we'll
Thank
connect.
you for having me on.
Yeah, we'll connect again. And his podcast, everybody, just in case you don't know, and what you should, is, dude.
Fantastic tones for human bones.
Stop. Yeah, stop that. Yeah, it's fantastic. I was trying to say it. It's fantastic tones for human bones, but yes, which is one of the coolest names for podcast that we've ever heard in my life. So, fantastic tones for human bones. Robert Woods LaDue, thank you for hanging out with me, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
And let's talk off mic soon.
Yeah, I need your email address. Text me your email address.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So
Yeah.
this is the guy. By the way, everybody, I'm gonna put a bunch of his music links in this podcast because he's just out of control. Hey, Bob, is there anything before we go? Is there anything new that you've done that you want everybody to listen to first? Is there anything that, yeah? Is it?
I mean,
What should we hear? What should we listen to?
the bulk of my stuff that I am most proud of is on my Danny Breakfast Bandcamp site.
Give me a song. Give me one song name that I should
One
share.
song.
Yeah, one. What should I share with everybody? One.
Lord have mercy. Oh, no,
Lord,
man.
Lord of mercy. Yep.
One song.
At least one. Come on, man. You got
Okay.
it. Come on. Hey, listen, everybody. This is Robert Woods LaDue. He's trying to figure out what song. Before we go.
I don't think I can do this, man.
Bob. Okay, listen.
Just one song. Wait,
I'm
hold
trying
on.
to figure it out.
Hold on. Just give me 1 second.
I just want to know one.
Site. Okay.
All I
You know
want-
what? You know what song I'm really proud of
Please tell me.
is a song called "The Curve."
Okay. The Curve?
Yeah. I'll see if I can text. I'll text you the link to this one song.
And you think. Come on,
No, it
Bob.
doesn't. All right, this is the whole album, but it's like the second or third track on there.
Bob, listen, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something right now. Do you know, holy crap. Do you know that when somebody types Denny Breakfast into Google, it comes up with episode 59?
Episode 59 of what?
It just says Denny Breakfast, episode 59. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. This is some bullshit. What the fuck is that? Hold on, I don't even want to hear that.
Oh, these people that did the interview. I know what this is.
Are you sure, sir?
I think so.
Cat Synth TV?
Yeah, I remember. They were. That's funny. That was like we were doing a show of this particular kind of like free improv album with dancers.
Hold on.
And-
Listen to this shit. Listen. You hear it? What the hell is happening right now? Bob, I love you. You are one of the fucking best. Dude, Anyway, so we're supposed to end this.
That's the top search result. That interview.
So
Yeah,
my
bro.
name is Robert Woods LaDue. This
funny.
is my band, Danny Danny Breakfast.
This is my band, Danny Danny Breakfast.
My band is normally a rotating cast, but tonight we have Mark Clifford Pascucci and Crystal Clifford Pascucci, David Young
Oh,
on
man.
keys, Jordan Glenn on drums.
I said their names backwards.
Yeah, bro, but listen.
They just got married.
Ramos was sort of like our special guest on the alto.
Dude, you're a badass. Dude, you're such a fucking badass. How do you not know? See, I don't understand how people like you just don't understand how.
Not that bad. I said my friends' names backwards on an interview.
Of course. Anyway, look, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
You're the best. You're the best. I appreciate you, dude. Bob, you're so fucking hardcore.
Showcase all of the exercises.
Anyway,
Thanks, man.
listen, man. I just want to let everybody know. Listen, I totally appreciate you coming here talking to me and
Yeah.
making music with me before that we have. So, what's your next project? Because I just asked you that, and then we came up with this crazy shit that just happened. What are you doing next?
I just texted you something.
I think I saw it. Yeah, hold on for a second. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But anyway, man, we should wrap it up because we've talked about like my next project or like.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Danny Breakfast Bank. Memento.
Memento Mori.
Dude, are you? Why? Okay.
And I thought
All right.
it would be really fun to just kind of. I participate a lot in contemporary dance. My wife is a professional dancer. I'm not a professional dancer, but
Yeah, you maybe not.
I'm definitely not.
Dude, are you
professional
guys
dancer.
doing jujitsu? What the hell's happening right now?
It was a dance show.
All right, man. Bob, I love you, man. So let's wrap this up. Bob, when can I talk to you again? Even if it's just off microphone.
Sometime. Although just call me whenever, man. I don't care.
I'll text you.
I'll answer if I can.
Yeah.
How's that?
All right, everybody. This has been Robert Woods LaDue, one of the best musicians I've ever met in my life. He's totally a cool dude, as you've all heard. And he has more music available than you could possibly ever listen to in your lifetime. You're probably going to die before you listen to everything that this guy has.
Yeah.
So,
We'll all die eventually.
yeah. Bob, love you, man. You're an awesome dude. Let's
you
talk
too,
soon. You have a good
Take it
night.
easy.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Have a good night, and we'll talk soon. I hope, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy. Later. So, holy shit, that was Robert Woods LaDue, one of the most awesome people that I've ever met in my life, and I'm also listening to some shit that he's done on camera right now. Denny Breakfast.
To find out more about Denny Breakfast, including recordings and their rotating roster, please visit their website.
Yeah, please visit
Thanks for
Denny
watching.
Breakfast.
Check out more at www.catsynth.com and please subscribe to CatSynth TV.
You are watching Cats TV.